here.
All right, welcome back to Love is Weird, where we talk about dating, sex, relationships, therapy, everything in between. Do you care if I say your name?
No, go
This
ahead.
is Jake. We went on a date the other day, and it kind of wasn't a great date.
It wasn't.
Like, I didn't have a terrible time, but Jake kind of had a terrible time.
Yeah.
Which I thought we were having a good time. So we're going to talk about the date, other dates, other experiences, like seen through the lens of like a man versus a woman, and then like why. And I think dating apps get in the way. I think dating apps like fucking ruin things.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Like you said, I think there was, and we'll get into it, right, as we continue to talk, but I think we definitely had different perspectives of how our date went.
Also, let me just start by saying, like, not a lot of men would come here to be on, like, a failed date. I don't think it's a failed date, right? But I think we can conclude that this conversation is happening because of a failed date.
Yeah.
But most men wouldn't come to my house to be on a podcast.
Fair.
Especially, like, being in the military, which, like, none of this represents the military's ideology of anything. This is all separate. But thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. A lot of men wouldn't have, like, the balls to be here or the emotional bandwidth to be here.
Well, I appreciate you having me. Happy to be here, right? Like, I know we had a pretty lengthy conversation after the date, and so
it was good. It was like the realest combo, right?
It was good. So I think that kind of led me to kind of being comfortable coming and talking about it, and
I'm scared.
We can go from there. You're good.
It's fucking recording, but I'm so scared.
You're good.
Because once you do a false recording, you can't go back and record it, because then it's scripted. And
then it's not
weird.
It's not natural.
Then we have to go on another shitty date.
I mean, apparently I'm real good at it, so, we be all right.
Okay, so we met on Hinge.
Yo.
And we talked a little bit when I was in Mexico, and you were here. We did voice notes back and forth, which I had to lure you into to do also.
You did, a little bit, yeah.
You were like, I'm just so busy. I can't do it.
Yeah, but, to be fair, like, I did appreciate the voice note, or the voice notes, because we ended up sending...
You eventually did.
Yeah. Because I think it does add a layer of, well, one, like, personality, right? Because as I think we'll get to talking about later, texting isn't always necessarily the best form of communication. Sometimes it can be difficult to interpret stuff.
Well, also, if somebody puts, like, a lot of LOLs and a lot of emojis, you interpret that they're doing, because you're doing that to say, like, I'm ha-haing in real life, or I'm whatever. And so if they do a lot of that, you're like, they must be, like, that energetic of a person.
Yeah. And, like, maybe that is the case, but sometimes it's not necessarily the case as well. So, yeah, I think the voice notes, admittedly, it did take me a little bit of coaxing to reciprocate. But, no, I appreciated you sending them and honestly kind of taking the initiative, if you will, to send them and be like, hey, I would like to actually be able to, like, hear what you sound like and interpret what you're saying.
Do you vet people on dating apps before you're like, let me waste my time on this person?
I mean...
Like, potentially wasting time, right? But that's how dating apps are.
I don't know if I would say vet, per se, but I would say that I don't like to talk on a dating app for an extended period of time. One, because...
How long?
I mean, I would say, and again, this is probably maybe different for everybody, different for guys and girls, but I would say, like, if the conversation is decent on a dating app, like, maybe a couple days if there's decent amount of communication.
Anything
back
past
and
that,
forth.
you're like, are we fucking pen pals?
Yeah, and, like, again, you can only do so much with Hinge, right? Like, you can't send voice notes on Hinge. You can't send...
Yeah, you can.
Can you? Well, fuck, that shows how much I send voice notes. But I think, like, just in general, messaging on dating apps limits your ability to show personality.
It for sure does.
Like, you can't send, like,
you can only heart react.
You can only heart react. Obviously, you're not sending any sort of, like, pictures or videos of what you're doing or anything like that. You're limited to the whatever 6 pictures that are on there.
You can't even, on Bumble, you can video chat. On Hinge, you cannot.
Okay. Yeah, and so that's a whole nother thing. Like,
are you on all the apps? Hinge, Bumble,
I have Hinge, Bumble, and Tinder, and that's it.
That's a lot. You're like, that's it.
I mean, yeah, those
3.
are only the 3 actual primary ones that anybody gives a shit about.
Why are you on 3 apps? I'm not hating, I'm just asking because I know people wonder.
Honestly, I think it's just, I mean, I don't want to say to like sound bad, like cast a wider net, right?
No, but
like,
is, right?
For the idea of like maybe somebody doesn't have Hinge or whatever, you may meet people that you may not have otherwise.
Yeah.
On on Bumble versus on Hinge versus on Tinder versus what have you.
Do you find a difference of human on the different apps?
I don't know if I would say a difference of human. I would say people, of the 3, I would say people are definitely the most communicative.
I'm like so scared.
On Hinge. And I don't know if that's...
People are more communicative?
Yeah, more or like most communicative. With, in my opinion, Tinder being the least. And then Bumble maybe being somewhere in the middle. I would say of the 3, like that's the one I use the least. I would say that like Tinder and Bumble I use substantially less.
Do you still feel like Tinder is like the fuck app, the hookup app?
I don't know. I would say originally, or maybe like when I was a little bit younger, yeah. But I would say...
You're like early 30s.
I am, yep. So yeah. So I just turned 32 about a month ago. So I would say like maybe when I was a little bit younger, and that could have just been like what I was using it for specifically maybe when I was younger.
Were you successful? Did you like catch a lot of fish on there?
It wasn't super unsuccessful, let's put it that way. But
so you got some like notches in your belt, as they
say.
Yeah. It sounds so douchey to say that.
It does, but like if again, like we're all adults, right? Like it's like
we know that's what people
we're talking about it to make it less taboo and to actually have good conversation about it. So, so I mean, I would say of the 3, like if you had to ask me which one I feel like is more of a hookup app or hookup oriented of the 3, like I would say yes. But, I've gone on dates with people from all 3 that have either led to relationships or have led to at least
how many relationships do you have from dating apps? I have 3, so not a lot.
I have a couple, like I would say maybe 2 or 3 that were shorter, like 6 months or less. Mm-hmm. And then I have 2 that were like a year plus. So
that's good.
So
Any from Tinder?
Not so bad. Probably not from Tinder. I had 1 from, maybe a couple from Bumble, and then I would say the majority from Hinge, if they, of the relationship stemming from dating apps. So
see, I like Bumble better because of the user experience. Simply just, I like that you can swipe and you're like, no, hate you, maybe, no. But on Hinge, you have to like push a button.
It's true.
But I think they do that intentionally because it makes you stay on the profile longer. I think that's the purpose.
I would say so, yeah. I think their idea is like maybe it makes it a little bit more intentional. Like
because you only get 8 matches, and then they're like, look, you have a match right now. I'm just kidding, the Snapchat. Hot damn. Snapchat, side quest, Snapchat is for the hoes.
Okay.
Do you agree or not?
I would say it can be.
Is that a hoe right now?
Let's see, if we're being honest. No, it's actually, it says, Lieutenant XYZ Army contact is a new friend suggestion. It's one of my male counterparts.
Why would you? Yeah. Right? You're like, don't recommend my coworkers
please,
to me, bro.
Please don't.
It's like you're fucking squadron commander.
Yeah. We're gonna.
But okay, right. That. Snapchat is for hoes.
I would say it definitely can be.
When I see it on a man's phone, I'm like, red flag.
Red flag, sweet.
So
love that.
Sorry,
popping
red
up,
flag.
hell yeah, love that. I would say it definitely can be.
Because it's disappearing.
And it more often than not is used in that.
Do you use it for the hoes that message you?
Honestly, and this is going to sound like, oh, of course he's fucking saying that. I don't know if I'm allowed to swear on
No,
podcast,
I cuss a lot, don't worry.
Okay, sweet. Admittedly, I really don't use it that much. I did when I was younger, like I did in college. I think it came out like while I was in college, if I remember right, or shortly before. But I would say nowadays, like I do have it. I use it every now and then, but...
For hoes?
I would not say for like tendency things.
How many nudes do you get sent to you on Snapchat?
Like
in a week?
Like 0.
Really?
Literally 0.
Why?
Yeah.
Are you not a hoe? Do you not like hoes?
I mean, I would just say like that's
Every man likes a hoe.
Not necessarily.
Right?
See, I think that's a common misconception. I think guys love the idea of
a hoe. Because that's whose pictures they like on Instagram.
A hoe, or like the idea of someone that they don't necessarily have to be like committal with, or don't necessarily have to.
But, right, there's this layover that men like a hoe and they like a girl to be their wife, but they cannot be the same.
I would say there is some truth to that.
But every wife has an inner hoe.
I mean, true, and like I think as a man, like your goal is to like bring out the inner hoe of your wife, right? Because if you're not doing that, there's probably something.
Because it's safety. There's safety in being like a freak with your partner.
Yeah, there's like a level of intimacy that comes with security and like confidence and just comfortability, right?
Yes.
But I think guys like the idea of the hoe, or being with, you know, somebody that they don't have to necessarily commit to, or don't have to.
Would you have a serious relationship with a hoe?
I mean, I guess it depends. Like, what are we considering a hoe? Are we talking like OnlyFans model?
I will
are we
give
talking
you
like just
my definition of the modern day hoe. The modern day hoe will sleep with you on the first or second date.
Okay.
Will send you nudes.
Okay.
You can cancel on her a lot, and she'll still like be down to do whatever you want. Like, she's just like, will say yes to everything you say. Like, even if you cancel on her, you're like, hey, I can't go because I don't fucking look, your hoe's back. Because I don't want to. Is this a hoe?
It's not.
Oh, dang it. Okay. I was wanting like a real IRL hoe moment. Just like desperate. And this, like, more women are like this than men, but like somebody who's like desperate is like, please love me or give me attention at any point in time. And so they're willing to do whatever you ask. And you don't even have to put an effort. You're like, can I see your boobs? And they're like, fuck yeah. And you're like, cool, didn't have to work for that.
Sick.
Yeah, sick. Sick tits.
Honestly, I would say, again, I think guys like the idea of it, and I think potentially, like, in the short term, it's fun or attractive or whatnot, but I think, and I think from kind of some of the different parameters that you mentioned, like, for me, I've had successful multi-year long-term relationships with somebody that I slept with on a first date.
You're like, you won't do that. No.
So I would say like that one, you know, I think it's not a one size like fits all kind of thing. But I would say guys are not always the biggest fan or are necessarily willing to always commit to somebody that puts out like that kind of energy. Again, not saying it can't happen, not saying that those are bad people or people that you shouldn't necessarily date.
I will come out and say I don't think you should date people like that. No. Like, it's much more risque for you to say something like that, right? As a man, to say don't date a hoe, because then they're like, fuck you, you hate women. Right? But me as a woman I've never had like a hoe phase, but I've definitely slept with a guy. Like I met him at a bar, texted very minimally, went to his house, had sex, and I was like, oh, we're gonna hang out. And he was like, I gotta go to bed. I was like, God damn it, okay, thought I got played. So I would say, like, don't date a hoe because they have a lot more stuff going on internally, and like they're not going to be great partners because they can't even be great to themselves. Like, I don't think women want to be like hoes.
Yeah, and I think if you were in a situation where you're texting with somebody, you've met up, you've talked about risque things over text, maybe before you've met up, or you've gone on like one date and it's kind of evolved into that, or you've slept together, prior to having like a real first date, or even after a first date. Like, I think if that is somebody that you are wanting to potentially pursue things with, like, you have to take a very honest assessment of the situation. Because like you mentioned, there more often than not are things going on in the background or in somebody's past, and like that just kind of is what it is. Like, everybody has shitty stuff in their past or baggage that they have to work through. But I think if that's a situation that you're potentially looking to pursue or willing to continue putting yourself in, you have to make that.
Yeah, you're like, could I take them home to a party or whatever? I just find that people that are like hoes, and this goes for like men that are hoes too, Like, to me, a man that's a hoe is like a man that's like trying to sleep with you very quickly because he needs validation. And that's the ultimate thing at the center of like a hoe is like validation, like needing reassurance, needing validation. Because when you are willing to sleep with somebody very quickly, it's quick validation. Like if somebody wants to fuck you, you're like, they like me, they want me, they desire me. Validate, you're like, yes, validate it very quickly. And then as soon as that event is over, they're like, I'm done with validating you. That was like a quick validation, not like a long-term validation. And so like if you take a hoe home, like the potential of them wanting validation from a new person, like cheating on you, is very high.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Like I think it's a slippery slope for sure. I don't think it can't never could work.
Sure, there's always exceptions to everything.
But like I said, I think it's something where
these are gonna be such good sound bites. Like, can you take a hoe home?
It's gonna be a perfect little
Oh my gosh, you're gonna if you want me to tag your social, you're gonna have so many new followers.
Hell yeah, I'll take it.
Watch all his bike videos. Come on, guys.
Yeah, they're gonna be coming up.
We should have just done the whole interview in your helmet. Keep it mysterious.
Just fucking dark visor.
You could wear my
on.
helmet if you want. It's a clear visor, but did you bring your helmet?
No.
Damn it.
I should have.
That would have been
bike talk
so funny. Honestly, that would be a really good character on a podcast.
It would be.
That you could take it on if you want.
Just aura.
He's aura farming over here.
Yeah, that's all it is. I'm gonna silence this because it keeps fucking Reddit. And
Have you ever dated a hoe? Oh my God, wait, that just made me think of so many moments in past relationships. Did you just put your phone on Do Not Disturb?
100%, yeah.
Okay. I used to date this guy who would put his phone on Do Not Disturb when we were together, and I was like, why is your phone on Do Not Disturb? And he would just be like, oh, baby, I just want to give you all of my attention.
Oh, yeah.
And I was wait, why is my bullshit meter going off? And he was
And
a
was
hoe.
that the case? Like, was he just
100%.
wanting to give you all the attention?
No,
that was it? Okay.
No, I mean, he did want to give me all the attention. But he wanted this girl, Macy, to also not pop up when I was with him.
Damn.
So, but I was like, that's sweet. But I think it's bullshit. And it was bullshit because later he forgot to turn it on. We were together and I saw it pop up on his truck thing and I was like,
fucking Macy.
Who the fuck is this bitch?
Got dimed
Macy?
out by the CarPlay.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
So when a guy puts his phone on Do Not Disturb, have you done that before?
So I have. I would say on on a first date, I really don't want my phone buzzing in my pocket regardless of what it is.
I've had that on a first date and Hinge is like...
Yeah, and so I think because obviously first date, second date, whatever, if there's no talks about exclusivity, you don't owe anybody anything, right? I get that. But I think there's a level of respect, right?
Sure.
Same reason why I normally wouldn't have my phone sitting face up on a table, just because I don't think it shows
polite to give your attention.
Correct. And so even if my phone is in my pocket or in my backpack or whatever, because only weirdos bring backpacks to a first date. I just want to point that out there. Just
guys, don't fucking do that.
It's fucking weird.
Super weird.
Red flag number 1. Don't do that.
I'm going to put a little picture of me always in my little backpack.
You should, yeah.
But that wasn't even my full-time backpack. That was my backpack.
Lame. Was that your first date backpack?
Only for first dates.
Hot.
That's my computer backpack that I got for free from a client because their friend works for that whiskey brand. Yeah. Maker's Mark.
Okay.
My real backpack, I have a real backpack that I wear instead of a purse. It's cool. More people should wear backpacks instead of purses.
That makes it minimally better.
Anyways, breezing past.
Anyways.
Wear backpacks, guys, not purses.
Don't. I just completely derailed with the backpack comment, so that's my bad. No, I think...
When you said that, I forgot I was wearing the black backpack and not my normal backpack.
Yeah.
Wait till you see my normal one. So cool.
Guess we're going to have a second great date.
It will be the first great date.
Yeah, facts. But no, I've done the Do Not Disturb thing, especially on first or second dates, right? To where I don't necessarily want my attention taken away. I don't want my phone buzzing in my pocket the whole time, regardless of what it is, whether it's emails, whether it's texts from friends, whatever. I just don't want that distraction. So I absolutely have done that. I do it when I'm at the gym too, because I hate the shit coming through on my AirPods while I'm trying to work out, and it just reads the notification.
And it's easy to get lured back into scrolling when you're at the gym.
Correct.
And then people are like, bro, can I have this fucking piece of equipment?
So I think Do Not Disturb gets a little bit of a bad rep at times.
When is it allowed?
I think if you
not allowed when you're dating.
I think if you are exclusively dating somebody, right? Or like seriously dating somebody, there's not really a reason it should be on Do Not Disturb, because at that point, like if you've had that conversation with those people, well, that person, right, there shouldn't necessarily be a whole lot going on your phone that you would be uncomfortable, like your screen like lighting up.
At that point you should be like
etc. Or if you're in the truck, right, and you're driving to go get breakfast or lunch or something, like you shouldn't have to worry about what's popping up on your CarPlay when you're, driving to dinner or drinks or
oh my God,
whatever.
when you like take the cord and you plug, like, because my car is older, you have to plug it into your phone for it to pop up. When you, oh look, you got a hoe calling you.
Oh, that's my boss.
Do you need to answer it? Take your, like, this is, we can totally push pause. Have you ever been on a podcast before?
Nope. Never. First time for everything.
For sure.
Do you think it's going okay so far? Are you doing okay?
It's going great. I love it. Thank you for being here.
Of course.
I just think
First straight male on your podcast.
It's great.
Yeah. Chains out or chains in?
Definitely out.
Chains out. Looking like such a huge fucking doucher.
No,
Hell
you do
yeah.
not look like a doucher. I like it when white boys wear chains because I'm like, okay, he has like some swag. Because white boys are like notoriously super fucking boring.
This is true. Very vanilla.
Do you agree?
Yeah, I would say a lot of times. I feel like it's one extreme or the other. Like, I feel like it's either they have style and they have some form of fashion sense, etc., or it's just fucking terrible and it's hey dudes with cargo shorts. And
I just cargo shorts.
Dressed with regret.
I, historically speaking, date a lot of like Hispanic dudes.
Okay.
But I've married 2 white dudes. So, historically speaking, I marry white dudes and date Spanish dudes.
Okay. I feel like a lot of Hispanic guys have decent
they have swag.
swag, yeah.
They
or
have
like
swag.
a decent fashion sense or like charisma, swag.
They're just like suave. They just like look
yeah.
at you like deep and they're just like fucking flirty. But like in a different way. Like, I think that in Spanish culture or Latino culture, it's raised to be so family oriented and like emotional and like they say I love you a lot and they like hug and kiss each other a lot. And in white families, we're all traumatized by families who don't talk to each other. Yeah. So then when you grow, again, this is like come back to injured kid, is that when you grow up and you're still this like sad little kid, it's like it shows. Like when I see white guys, I see like, oh, you're afraid to talk about your feelings. Oh, you have anger issues. Oh, you have abandonment issues. Oh, you have commitment issues. Oh, you're an avoidant. And when I look at Latin dudes, I'm like, okay, you probably like fucking married to your mom first mentally, but like we are gonna have fun and you're gonna be like passionate and driven, and so it's just different. But the chains let the ladies know like I got some style. I got some like riz.
Fair. And it matches the bracelet, so
it's cute. It would be a huge red flag if you had a silver bracelet and gold chain.
Yeah, I can't be doing that.
Is that real gold?
It is.
Baller. Is it heavy?
No. It's not super light, but it's not heavy. It's from the Middle East. So at least it came from the gold part of the world. So
is that where all the gold is from?
It's what a lot of the Middle Eastern countries are super known for, besides the oil and constant war. So
besides all the bad stuff.
Yeah, besides all the super negative stuff, the gold, pretty nice.
Swag off the chain. I will say, like, there are Middle Eastern dudes on the apps, and they are, like, swaggy. Yeah. But I'm like, what, you are going to control me?
Yeah, I could see, I
was talking to, like, about the same time, like, I matched with this other dude, like, in Tennessee. And he was, like, very handsome, nice teeth, like, very flirty, charismatic. And he was, like, calling me baby on, like, we had one video chat, and he was pretty much just like, I can't wait to hug and kiss you when you get here. I'm like, we're not together, bro. And I told him I went out with some friends, and he was like, are they going to take you away from me? I was like, yeah, maybe, because we're not together. Like, yeah,
that's weird.
I unmatched him, and like, no, he messaged me the other day and just said like, good night. You know when you haven't talked to anybody all day and you throw passive aggressive like, hope you had a good day, just to be like, we didn't talk all day, but here's like my one last try. He sent me that, and I was like, bro, I'm not responding. Like, as soon as a girl, I tell all my girlfriends, I'm like, if you don't like a dude, just start broing him. Say bro a lot.
Oh, 100%.
Say like, bro.
Bro or...
dude.
Yeah, dude, bro.
Man.
Yeah, or anything like that is like, any guy's like, fuck me. Like, that's this is over.
I
like
do,
the free trials ended 100%. Like,
I do say dude inherently sometimes. Just I feel like it's a very West Coast thing to say.
Yeah, and I feel like there's levels to it too. Like I feel like saying dude in like a crazy or like spur of the moment like exclamation
oh my God,
or something.
Like dude, that was crazy. Like,
but if you're like actively calling somebody,
like hey dude, look at this.
Yeah,
you're
I'll be like, I'll kill myself. Yep. Yeah, be like, all right, well, we are never doing anything. So,
God,
yeah.
sometimes though you bro a guy and they're like, challenge accepted.
Yeah, I would say I don't know. There isn't a weird thing where like it is. I think I've seen this on maybe like Reels or TikToks or whatever of like the chill girl or like the bro girl. Like there is a little bit of that can be attractive to where like somebody is or has the ability to kind of hang out like one of the guys or talk to you kind of like that.
But like it's in very. Do I give that vibe?
I would not say so.
No. Okay. What would you be my vibe? That
your vibe.
You're not gonna again.
Well,
we're
it's
not
tough.
dating or fucking. And we're not friends.
It's tough when the first date, the only thing I talked about was me. So I won't get into that. I'm sure here in a little bit. But I would say you're like a very inquisitive person. I will say like you definitely asked a lot of good questions. You seem to have very good like conversational skills, like a very high like emotional intelligence ability. I didn't get any sort of like childish or necessarily like immaturity vibes, which I think as you get older, at least for me, like that's a big red flag about anybody, whether it's like guy friends, girlfriends, like people you are romantically interested in, like the whole lack of emotional intelligence, immaturity. Like if you're over 30, like you need to have some modicum of
yeah, there's like a fine line between, I'm always like chasing the inner child, like how can I like fulfill my inner kid, which I decided the other day I'm going to buy a remote control RC car.
Hell yeah, okay.
Because I've like always wanted one. Very cool. Do you know what RC stands for? Is it remote control?
I think it's either remote controlled or radio controlled, but I think it's remote controlled.
It's like cat card. You could just say CAC, but I say cat card. Yeah. Everybody says cat card.
Like an RC.
Do you say cat card?
I do, so it's just common access card.
Card.
Yeah.
Everybody says cat card.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a question for you.
What you got?
Did you sense, when we were like on that date, were you like, does anything scream red flaggy, orange flaggy? Again, you're not gonna piss me off or offend me or hurt my feelings.
Trying to think back.
If the answer is no, you also don't have to like make something up. I'm just curious.
No, I would say the only, like one of the things, obviously, and again, I guess this kind of goes into like as everybody gets older, I think we talked about earlier that everybody has baggage or situations in their life, like,
everybody has isms.
Everybody has isms. I think, when you hear potentially that somebody has been married multiple times in the past.
Twice.
That can...
You didn't say anything when I said that.
I didn't,
you were like,
And like, again, I wouldn't say it's a red flag, but it's... that valid, Yeah, that plays into the not saying a bunch.
We will talk about that.
In general. I think that's why, like, I wouldn't say it's a red flag, but it's something that... Kind of like how we talked about earlier when you're talking about can you turn a hoe into a housewife, if you will, right? Yeah. It's the idea of if somebody has been married before, is there some baggage there? You don't have any kids, so I think that, that makes it a little bit less that way, but I think as we get older, right, the odds of somebody having been married, having kids...
It goes up.
Et cetera, it goes up exponentially. And so I wouldn't necessarily say it's like a red flag, but it's something to think about.
It's like put a pin in it.
A little bit, yeah, and something that definitely to be revisited or expanded on later or to ask further questions about or ask questions about in general.
Or ask zero questions. Yeah, that's an option too.
So I would say, like, I remember that just being something like I recalled where I was like, I would definitely be curious to learn a little bit more about that, like if this is... if we ever were to like pursue something, like that would definitely be something that I would want to learn a little bit more about and just have some conversation about.
Fair, totally fair.
Aside from that, like I don't really recall any like noticeably like
It was the backpack.
Bright
You're
red
like,
flag.
whoa,
Yeah,
red
the
flag.
backpack was pretty sus. I'm not gonna lie. No.
No, it was not.
No, like I genuinely, I don't recall anything crazy where I was like, oh fuck, like that's super weird, or oh I don't like that, or that's like really a turn off. Off the top of my head, I'm gonna go ahead and ask you the same question. So I'm really curious to know your answer. We've talked a little bit about it already.
Yeah.
We've texted a little bit about it.
I think we texted a lot about it.
I think a lot bit.
We texted for like 2 hours about
I'm curious what your. So I'm going to ask you 2 questions. I'm going to ask you, obviously, to reciprocate the question that you just asked me, right, about red flags or orangey, beige flags, whatever you want to call them, and then kind of your first impression of me.
Okay, sure. Okay, so first impression, super great. You're like, I'm outside waiting for you, because otherwise it's on the person to walk into a restaurant, look super awkward, hopefully find you, and then do like the weird walk. It's not the walk of shame, but it's the walk of like, what the fuck, up to the partner.
Just kind of like gawking around and trying to find.
Yeah, and then it leaves that person, either they awkwardly are on their phone, walking up to you. Most people on dates also don't, I'll come back to another point, but most people on first dates don't go like, hi, I'm Brittany, nice to meet you, because you've already been texting. You have this false sense of introduction. Yeah. But if we met on the street, you would be like, hi, I'm Jake, it's so nice to meet you. But you skip that part.
Yeah, because you would have no idea.
Which then skips a natural flow of like chain of events to occur, because online dating is already super unnatural. So then we initially miss step 1, which is high introduction.
Fair.
Which we didn't even do.
True.
People just don't do it. I think people don't know what to do.
Yeah, well, I think there's also just an assumed...
It's assumed.
Closeness, or like assumed familiarity.
Yes.
I think, to where, like you said, because you've texted, whether that's actually texted, whether that's talked on the phone,
which I think
on
leads
the apps.
to failed expectations, because both people kind of have this like false sense of like meeting.
Yeah.
And then so in your brain you're like, oh, we know each other, and it's like, no, you fucking don't know them at all.
Yeah.
Like, you should
you know their name on a fucking dating app or
like,
on
you
a
should still
Instagram page or whatever.
You should, and it's always awkward. You're like, do we hug? Do we shake hands? Because we're not strangers, but we're pseudo strangers.
Yeah.
But I liked it. You came outside, you were waiting for me, which then like takes away the nervousness of the person walking up. And I was like a couple minutes late, which like, it's not a big deal, but when you're late, that then becomes like in your thought process, like, fuck, I'm late to meeting this person for the first time. Are they gonna be cool? Are they gonna like laugh about it? Are they gonna ignore it? Like, what are they gonna do? So you're outside waiting for me, which was nice. Also, I have this fear of online dating that because we've never done the like, hi, I'm so-and-so, that you never introduce yourself, and so you're gonna not know their name.
Yeah, or you like either don't know it, or you like just space or blank out and be like, shit.
Because I don't save anybody's name in my phone until they are worthy of remembering, because otherwise it's just a sea of numbers.
Fair. Yeah.
And then if you don't ever introduce, like before I showed up to you, I scrolled all the way up. I was like, it is Jake. I know it's Jake, but I need to trust but verify. The military teaches you that. And then because nobody says, hi, I'm Jake, hi, I'm Brittany, you're like left here, and then you're midway date, and you don't want to be like, is your name Jake? Yeah. Because then you're rude.
Yeah.
So that whole thing is awkward, but I yelled your name, and you turned around and was like, it's Jake. And I only said that for my confirmation.
Yeah. It caught me a little off guard, not like bad off guard, but because I think my back was turned to you. I think when you walked up,
you were facing
and then I just
that
heard somebody like yell my name, and I was like, "Who in the world knows?" Yeah,
who
I was
would
like,
know
"Who would know my name?" Randomly?
I'm meeting someone out here. It couldn't possibly be
that
not
person.
At all. And then we walked inside, and I was about to say, "God, you smell so good," but I was like, I just like hugged him. That's like too much, right? It was like way too much. But also like he didn't say anything to me. He's the man. He should like take initiative and do this, so I'm not gonna say anything. I said his name, so at least I like initiated one. These are like all the thoughts going on in my brain.
This is true. And we're gonna, obviously, you and I have talked about kind of what we're gonna get into here, but we're definitely gonna expand upon thoughts about that as well.
But wouldn't it be so interesting to have like a vlog showing everything and then later go back, add commentary, like voiceover?
Oh, it'd be great.
Oh my God, it'd be so cool. So, awesome. Okay, so we walk in. And then you're like, hi, we have a reservation for 7. I was like, oh my God, it's so smooth. Because like men just will be like, I don't know, I thought you'd make the plan. Did I make the plan? Like, when we talked about that before.
Yeah.
So then you made the reservation. One thing I don't like about the can is that like it's so fucking loud in there.
It is a little noisy.
And I was like, focus.
Yup.
And then when I was married, my ex-husband he's been deployed a few times, and he's like, you never fucking know. Blah. So I was like, okay, does he want to like see the door? I don't know, like how fucking crazy he is in the head from the military, whatever. You just like sat down. I was like, okay, cool, cool.
Not a big deal.
Literally, if a guy's like, I need to sit here, I'm like, you're crazy. You have issues.
Yeah.
Not like bad issues, but like military men don't solve their issues.
Still issues.
For sure.
Well, yeah.
And then we sat down but immediately I was like, okay, he's like super handsome. He has like a chain. He has like style. Cool. We were talking and it was good. I was like, I'm enjoying this conversation. And then I was like, wait, this is a one-way sided conversation. And like, you didn't ask me a single question. And like at first you're fine with it, right? Because you're like, I'm genuinely curious. Yeah. And to me, like my job is like sales. And when you're selling, you're not selling, you're getting to know and you're asking questions to get to the root of the thing so then they sell themselves. And so that's how I approach conversations is I'm not trying to like sell me as a person or like, I'm not trying to like force anything to happen. I'm just trying to get to know. Yeah. And then let like the green flags, orange flags, red flags expose themselves. Yeah. And I'm trying to just allow curiosity to occur naturally and conversation to flow naturally. And I was like getting to know you really, really well. And I was like, oh, this is cool. We're like getting along great. This is awesome. And I remember you ordered 2 desserts and I was like, yes, that's my kind of man. Fuck yeah. 2 chocolate desserts. Yes. And then
I'm a sucker for dessert, by the way.
Oh my God. So good. Did you like the first one or the second one better?
I think I liked the first one a little bit more.
Is that just because it was on time?
Yeah, and it wasn't forgotten about. Mm-hmm. We had maybe not the best service. No hate on Can. Love Can. Maybe not the best service that I've ever had there.
Yeah, I agree.
Put that out there. But the desserts were good. I liked the first one better, but I thought they were both pretty decent. I thought the drinks were good as well. Pretty strong, but especially yours comparatively to mine, if I remember right.
Anything with like a singular ice cube is going to be like pretty kicking though.
It's like kind of sneaky because it had a bunch of whipped cream on the top of it.
Yeah, it did.
And then it just fucking came off the top rope.
Got you. I'm surprised they didn't ask if we wanted more drinks.
Yeah.
Shitty service, Can, not the greatest.
Yeah, waiter didn't ask.
And she stole our water.
Yeah, waiter didn't ask good questions either.
And she dropped a shell under our table. It was just like
This is true. It was, really...
But I like things like that happening because it gives you a chance for you guys to like riff off of it with each other. Yeah. And just like bullshit. And then it also allows you to like gauge, is this person going to freak out if things don't follow a plan?
Yeah, freak out or like, are they a rude asshole to somebody? Or are they like, because I don't know, one thing to me, like if you're a huge dick to like a waiter, like you're probably a dick to a lot of people in your life. Like if that's somebody you don't know, how do you treat people you actually care about? Like that's somebody that you should be given the benefit of the doubt to because
people that are rude to servers, they're high maintenance people.
Yeah.
I'm so low maintenance too. Like high maintenance people, I just cannot click. I'm like, oh, who cares? Who fucking cares that it happened?
Fair.
So, okay. So the basis of the date is that I was trying really hard to get to know you because I liked you. And I was like, okay, he's handsome. He's cool. Like he ordered 2 desserts. This is dope. Put that up there with like the list of good things. Yeah, so I was asking questions to get to know you because to me, if I inquire, it's because I'm interested. Yeah. As like from a dating app, if I'm going out with a person and I like them or I potentially like them, I'm asking questions to get to know, to like filter out of the dating app scheme and then like get to know the real person.
Yeah, and like expand upon
them so I was like asking questions on questions. I was like trying to like make jokes off of things. I was like, this is cool. Yeah. And then it's like, and again, this episode is like not to pick on you at all. You're it's good. Like to what did you say?
I said you're good. Okay. You're more than welcome to pick on me.
No. It's to get to the root of like how we had the same experience and totally different experiences at the same time. Yeah. Like I was trying to get to know you because I was interested in you as like a potential thing. Yeah. Partner in some kind of capacity. Yeah. And you interpret it as this girl doesn't like me, which is it's crazy.
Yeah.
I only asked questions because I was interested. It has to be recorded.
Yeah, so admittedly, to kind of give my side of, I guess, kind of how the date started and then kind of how we got into some of our potentially like misinterpretations, or mostly one-sided misinterpretations. Well, I think, and I'll come back to this, I think they were kind of on both sides, because I think how maybe what you thought I felt, or lack thereof, because of how I was not asking questions, was unfortunately like not what I was feeling, but we'll get into that as well. But yeah, admittedly, I asked very, very few questions.
I can tell you the 2 questions that I remember.
What were they? What you got?
Okay, it was when we were walking outside, and it was...
Good. Yeah, sick. Awesome.
It was after the date was over.
Yeah,
we were walking outside,
Love
and you
that.
went, "Are you excited to move to Tennessee?"
Oh, yeah, that's kind of a cop-out question anyway. So.
And then I can't remember the other one. It was some basic ass question. It was when I started to ignore you.
Yeah. Good. Yeah, so my question asking was not on par of what it should have been by any means. And to be like, I really don't know why. Like, I don't have like a great rhyme or reason for it necessarily. You know, like we talked about, there weren't like a huge amount of. It's not like there was like these massive red flags. That
what
I was
your
like,
thought? Your thinking when I was like firing off questions to you?
So I think some of that too. Like, not that it.
Are these chairs kind of uncomfortable?
Nah, they're all right.
They're like kind of flat.
You're like all pretzeled up in it. So.
I'm little. How tall are you?
Tall enough.
The answer of a man who's under 6 feet tall.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
You could probably say you could probably do it too.
On a great day, with good shoes on.
Okay, but women do not care.
See, that's
good. Okay, women you would want to date don't care, because women who only will date 6 foot or taller are women who are searching for physicalities.
I would agree with that.
But I will not date someone as short as me or shorter than me. I can't do it because I'm not a big person at all, but I'm a muscular female. And I just feel bigger than I am. And so if I'm like with a guy who's like shorter than me, I'm like, bro, I'm bigger than you. Even though I'm not. Even if you weighed like 180, I'm like, bro, I'm bigger than you.
Yeah.
And I'm just like not like a dainty female. And so if I'm like, give me that, babe, I'm like, fuck, you're the girl.
Yeah.
I just can't fucking do it.
That's fair, and I can see that.
Oy. Okay, sorry. Go back to what you're saying.
No, you're good. So I think some of it maybe. So, well, to preface, like, I really liked the questions. I don't know. People may realize from listening to this podcast now or this episode, I am definitely a talker, which I don't know if you probably. I don't know if.
Thank God, because like so am I, and I cannot be around people who don't talk.
So. I definitely am a talker. You
are though. You did a good job answering the questions. You weren't, even though you didn't ask me like a single question. That's fine. But like you did a good job of talking. It gave me like I couldn't continue to ask you questions if you weren't talking to me.
Yeah.
Like you weren't talking at me. You were talking to me. And you had good answers, and you weren't just like, yeah, it's good. They've been here 30 years. You know, whatever.
Yeah.
See, I remember things that you're talking about.
So, yeah, I think some of it was potentially a little bit where, because you were asking so many questions in a positive way, like in no way am I saying that was a negative.
It didn't feel like an interrogation.
It definitely didn't feel like an interrogation, and I think some of it, admittedly, like. I think I kind of got like wrapped up in trying to answer your questions well, or wanting to answer well and thoughtfully and expand upon my answers. And because you were coming up with so many good questions, that instead of me answering and then reciprocating with either a similar question or, you know, a branch off of that question about something, you know, to find out a little bit more about you, I just kept firing away answers as you asked questions instead of taking a beat and answering.
It was still good conversations for sure.
It just
like if I was interviewing you, it would have been like this stellar interview.
But it definitely could have been reciprocated on my end substantially more than it was. And so I think some of it was the kind of getting, I guess, wrapped up in the questions, because to be honest, it wasn't really until I think as I was walking back to my car that I was kind of like...
You're like, fuck.
I don't think that went great. And I think I realized then, I was like, shit, like, I don't think I like really asked hardly any questions, or like held up my end of the bargain as far as
I was like shocked that you
communication.
texted me and you're like, I don't think that went super well.
Yeah, so
or you're like, that didn't go great, did it?
Yeah, and I was curious to see, well, one, I was curious to see if you were even going to respond.
Yeah, I just said LOL.
You did, yeah.
Because
I was like,
oh,
sick, we are never going to talk ever again. I was like,
I'm getting ghosted now.
I was like, I'll just politely see myself out.
I'm going to go.
Yeah, like, I'm just going to fuck all the way off. So yeah, it was like, walked back to my car, it's like, shit, I don't think that went great. Because like normally, I feel like more often than not, when you have a date, like you probably get a decent vibe of that went, normally you know if it goes terrible, like I would say. And normally you know if it went really, really well. I think sometimes knowing how well or whether it was in the middle can be a little bit subjective, but I think normally you know, or you get a vibe.
You have an idea.
Of like, yeah, that was pretty shit, or, oh, that was great, like I thought that went well. And yeah, on that walk back, definitely realized that it probably didn't go the way that I would have liked it to, or intended it to in general.
What, like, intended to? What if it had gone great? How would it have ended to where you knew it was great?
Well, I don't think it was more so how it ended necessarily. I mean, I think we had a very informal, or I think we had a very I don't know the word I'm looking for, casual goodbye. Like, I don't think there was, like, we just did like a quick hug and goodbye. So I mean, I guess maybe that was one indication. But I really don't even think it was necessarily like the date ended a specific way, so I was now under the impression like, oh, that went terribly.
Sure.
I think it was more just like a realization as I was walking away that in my head I was like, okay, I don't necessarily think that went great, and then your mind starts thinking like, oh, well, why did it not go necessarily the way that you wanted it to? And then I, kind of started to put the pieces together about 40 minutes, probably too late at that point, 45 minutes past when I should have at least.
You're like, shit, what's your favorite color?
Yeah.
What's your favorite number?
Yeah, but just start like laying out just any question that comes to mind.
Have you ever been in Disneyland? Shit, what should I ask people?
Yeah, so that's when I was like, texted, I was like, that probably didn't go great. And then really was kind of just, well, I think some of that too was, I had a feeling it probably didn't, but I kind of wanted to make sure that I like wasn't out of left field or whatever. And then, props to you for the honesty and the candor that, in your defense, like you did, or not defense, but, appropriately you texted me back and kind of let me know why I may have been feeling the way that I did.
Yeah. Like, no, you're right. That kind of wasn't great.
Yeah.
Which I was like shocked because you were like, that didn't go so great or whatever you said. And then for sure, I was just like, I have, like, my theme for life is just like, I don't want anybody to do what they don't want to do.
Yeah.
And that's including dating me, being my friend, working for me, like, and I've had staff that I've let go, and I'm like, you clearly do not want to be here. Don't do me any fucking favors by working for me. Like, just, I don't want to say you're fired, but like, can we agree you don't want to work here?
Yeah.
And then they quit, and I was like, thank God, don't you feel better?
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, that's great, thanks. I'm like, good, go do whatever the fuck you want to do. And so like when I was being super frank and honest with you, and like my intention is to never be hurtful in anything that I say. My intention was to just be honest, because like my intention with that was to be honest, and like again, like if you don't want to talk to me, I don't want you to do what you don't want to do. So I'm going to be honest with you to the point where it's like I'm just being me, and then you can, of your own free will, of course, like say I want to continue to talk to you, or like if it was bad because you didn't want to talk to me, cool. Like here's your for sure out. It's like, I saw it was bad, you saw it was bad. Like high five changeover, bro. Like let's be done. Cool. Yeah. Like totally fine. But then you like took the bait and you like kept going with it. Yeah. I was like, what the fuck? No men have this conversation. They just don't. A lot of women don't. I actually went on a date last night. It was horrible, fucking horrible. It was like, I swear it was Mark Zuckerberg in the flesh. Like it was bad. He also had chains on, and I was like, is this like a white boy thing? So he had like pretend swag, but no, this is like a different category. But I was thinking about our date when I was out with him because he asked me questions, but like he asked me questions in like a judgy way, and I was like, I think I would rather have somebody ask me 0 questions than ask me weird shit like this.
Yeah.
Like, he was sitting in his chair like this, and when I walked up, he was like, stop. I was like, what the fuck? At least he met me outside and said hi and gave me a hug. What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
And then he asked me a question. He was like, so do you get angry at stuff? You seem like the type that would get angry at stuff. I was like, no, bitch. Look at the conversation me and Jake are having. I don't get angry about anything. It was just fucking weird. So I was like, it gave me like some perspective of like how just like conversations with humans are so interesting.
They're so interesting, and they're so like they're so unique, and they're so like every single person, how they communicate. Like, you have 2 people could ask you the same exact question, like script it, and it's going to come out differently.
Wait, come forward a little bit because we're running out of light.
You're going to receive it differently. Are we dark?
No, we're good. Come forward. Stop right there. Sit down, please. Perfect. Okay.
So yeah, I think that it does. You know, the more people you meet, the more people you date, the more people you become friends with or whatever, like the more you do realize that like communicating with different people is so unique. It's so interesting.
Well, and you probably like are in charge of a lot of people, and then so you have to, like, you're very well spoken, and I can appreciate that. Like, the more people you talk to, the more people you realize are like very stupid in the world. Like, there's a lot of really stupid people. My dad always said like, somebody has to work at McDonald's.
I mean, it's fair. There's a job out there for everybody.
There is, but it's like, I would have much rather, I would go on like our first date 100 times over than go out with douchey Mark Zuckerberg, like, any day. And even though like it was very like one-sided, it still was at least like intellectual information coming at me. Yeah. But the important thing, or like the curious thing that I want to talk about is like, I was like asking you questions because the way that I perceive interest is by curiosity. Yeah. And talk about how I didn't do anything at all that made you think that I liked you in the slightest.
Yeah. So I guess we'll kind of dive into. And
that was probably the flag that you saw. Is you're like, this bitch doesn't like me at all.
I don't know if I would say it was like a red flag, but yeah. And I think, you know, kind of exactly what you just said, your experience last night lends perspective and unique situations, right, for how you interpret what people are saying, how you interpret the questions that people are asking, or et cetera. So, yeah, I think, and we texted about this, I guess, it was like late into the evening after that date, I think it was, if I remember correctly.
We texted like almost at midnight or something.
Yeah, it was like midnight, 1 in the morning. Yeah, it was a while.
Yeah.
We spent more time texting than we did talking on the date. But it's fine.
You're like, enough about me, let me ask you some questions now.
And I think I actually texted that
you did.
verbatim.
You did.
a little tongue-in-cheek. No, but I think it's so interesting now that we've had the conversation and stuff, because I think that was one of the things that I was trying to like figure out or decipher, because while I did really appreciate and did really enjoy the questions that you were asking me, and it didn't feel like an interrogation. I didn't feel like I was sitting there being interviewed by any stretch of the imagination. But I think especially with, you know, some frame of reference that I have from past dates over the years, and how I guess I'm used to some people expressing, you know, whether you want to call it interest, attraction.
I think 100% of how you perceive interest from a woman is physical contact.
Yeah, well, I would say some of it physical contact, and I think, and I'm sure we'll keep talking about this, but like, because I think I brought up something about how I didn't feel like we were being flirty, right? But I remember you specifically saying when we were texting about it afterwards, like, hey, by me doing XYZ, like, that is me being flirty.
I flirt by getting to know people.
Correct. And so in my mind, some of it is like maybe different sentences that I may or may not be used to hearing. I think we talked about some of the subject matter a little bit that I'm like maybe a little bit more accustomed to or used to discussing on first dates,
like
whether
what?
or not.
Don't be like coy.
Okay, so I think So part of what we talked about, I talked about tattoos. That was a big thing.
You specifically said your sleeve.
Yeah, so
I've had women ask to just push up my sleeve and look at my tattoo.
So I would say like indications like that, or I guess conversational segues, if you will, or topics that get brought up like that, at least to me, in my experience, lend itself to some form of romantic interest, sexual attraction, whatever you want to say, right? And I would say more often than not on dates, like at some point that topic gets brought up either by me or the other person. If that person has visible tattoos at the time.
But you didn't bring up any physicality. Like we'll go out on a limb and say you asked me 0 questions at dinner. Because that's what I remember.
That's exactly what happened. Yeah. Hell yeah.
But like you are saying that you perceive flirtiness or you perceive yourself as being flirty when you talk about physical things. Mm-hmm. That means that you didn't flirt with me at all in your definition.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong there. I think some of that as, a guy at times, I will more often than not like err on the side of caution.
Because you don't want to be labeled as creepy?
Yeah, like you don't want to be labeled as creepy. You don't want to be the guy that's like trying to be overly sexual, overly physical, etc. And so while, I do enjoy talking like that with somebody that I'm interested in, mm-hmm. Especially on a first date, or if I perceive that there may not be a lot of that coming from their side.
Sure.
Right? Like that, I'm not necessarily going to see that as a green light to bring it up from my end.
What is a green light for you to
I think some of it is any sort of, from a guy's perspective, this is obviously very subjective because everybody's different, but from me, from my thought process, I think any sort of kind of maybe like flirtatious comments. I know you mentioned the smell good comment from the beginning.
I was like, what? So was I supposed to be twirling my fucking hair? And you're like, yeah, that would have helped.
Well, it definitely would have been a lot more obvious. But I would say, any sort of overtly flirty comments, any sort of physical interaction, any sort of physical comment.
Did you feel like I was just being nice?
I think that was some of it, yeah. And not like you were just entertaining me and wanting to leave. Not like in that way being nice. But I didn't get, overt vibes of you being like physically or like what I would consider like romantically or like sexually interested in me.
I think if there was any female just sitting there as a fly on the wall would have been like, she is interested in this dude.
Yeah.
And I think men would just be like, no, she's just like being polite.
Yeah, and like I don't think you gave off any vibes like you weren't necessarily hating it or
I was like neutral to you.
Yeah. And so I think that's kind of how I interpreted it a little bit, was like it wasn't good, it wasn't bad. You were just asking good questions, you were getting to know me. I appreciated that. But I past just general interest about getting to know the human being that's sitting across from you at the table. I didn't get any sort of extra feeling that you were interested in me past just
God, I forgot I had dogs for a second, and I was
like, who's here?
Why? I don't have my gun.
So I think that, some of that played a part into it, and a lot of that is just inherently.
Do you think that's all men? Like,
I'm sure it's not, but I think men inherently are a little bit more quick to be physical, sexual interest kind of people.
Do you think you guys are quick to reject yourselves? Like a woman's not even rejecting you, and in your head you reject yourselves?
Well, and I think I think sometimes, yeah. I think sometimes it's, I think I've heard the expression to where like if it's not a hell yeah, it's a hell no kind of thing.
Yeah.
To where it's like, well, the way I look at it at times is like, if a woman is interested in me, she's probably going to show it. And if I'm feeling like she
women notoriously go like, oh my God, like to men all the time.
And so I think case in point right there, like even just something little like that just one time, even like on a date, shows some level.
That's why I hate, not to shit on what we did at all,
interest.
But I hate dinner dates, and I hate, we did like drinks and dessert, which I still think is like, out of the ordinary, but it's like when you're doing activities like bonding, and the military is big on this. Like we will all be broken down to nothing and build up together to become one. Bonding is created through accomplishing something together, and that could be like a fucking paint night. It could be a puzzle, like it's doing something together.
Experience.
Yeah, it creates connection, and that's where flirtiness comes into play, and that's where this. When you're sitting across the table, it puts you in the zone of like interviewee very quickly.
It's inherently more formal, less personal, less
right off the bat. And from dating app, you're not even introducing yourselves to each other, so you're going on like a blind interview date.
Yeah, it's true. And so I think that has a lot to be said for more like experience-oriented dates, like going and shooting pool, doing a paint night, going bowling, doing like something where you're moving around, you're doing things, you're accomplishing a goal, you're doing whatever. Like I think it does naturally lend itself to a little bit more of those flirty interactions, to inside jokes, to little like fleeting touches, little like bumping into, like just little interactions.
It's hard
that
to do
you
that
don't
across
get.
the table. It's almost more awkward to be like,
I'm like just like
you're like across the table.
Yeah, and you're like, let me randomly reach over and touch you.
Yeah, when I go out to eat with my partner, I would rather sit on the same side of the booth, so it feels like more intimate. But when you see those people out and you're not there, you're like, ew.
Yeah, like that's weird.
Go home, freak.
Lame. Yeah.
So lame. But when you're in it, it allows for like a normal experience. And then also you're not staring at them. Like when you're eating at home with your partner, you're not sitting across the table unless you like hate each other.
At bar stools at your counter, you're sitting on the couch having, whatever. It's oddly more intimate but less formal.
Yes. So. Okay, wait. I want to talk about something else. Can you go back to our conversation on your phone?
Yes. Like actually pull it up.
Oh, I have a question. Did you unmatch me on Hinge?
100% I did. Yep. And like, admittedly so, I did. Because
You're like, I'm so mad at you.
I wasn't mad. It was more like until we continued to text and further that along, I was pretty much like, we're like never going to see each other again. And so.
You're like, little did I know I was going to go to her house, be fucking interviewed.
Help try to put in a fucking air vent and
oh my gosh, come to my house and work at my house.
Yeah. But yes, I can pull up our like text conversation.
Pull that up. So I went to, after I go on a date with somebody, I always go back to their profile and be like, was this what I initially thought of them? And then I was like,
there was nothing there. This son of a bitch.
Motherfucker unmatched me. But then I was like, it's like curious, right? You unmatched me, which I was like, I need to ask them about this on the show. But then we kept talking. But I do think that when you unmatch or when you meet somebody, I think you should unmatch them anyways, because I think you should stop talking to them on the app, and Hinge only gives you 8 people.
That's true.
Top 8 on MySpace vibes.
Yeah.
But
throwback.
I also think that I'm a big proponent of a roster.
Okay.
I don't think a roster is bad. I think a roster is good because I don't think you should put all your eggs in one basket until it's time to do that. But I think people should date other people and be fucking honest. They're like, I like situationships, but I think we need to redefine what a situationship is.
Oh, I think we talked about that.
Did we?
Specifically.
We did. Yes. Okay.
All right, let's see. And then I was like, well, shit. But like, realistically, and again, like some of it is probably framed from past experiences and stuff like that. Like,
just think about how many women have flirted with you and you had no idea.
Yeah, hot damn.
Because they're just talking to you.
Like in at least from experiences that I've had and stuff, like that to me in the past, I guess, has not equaled any sort of interest beyond platonic friendship.
How? Okay, so...
Like one normally hasn't turned into the other.
Sure. All the profiles that I have on there for Tennessee, they're like, don't swipe on me if you're here for a bachelorette party.
I mean, yeah, that is very Nashville coded.
Which says that men don't want fuck buddies only. Like, they want more.
Yeah. I would say inherently, like, people want
want real connection.
People want real connection. I think people just get... think people get horny and want to fuck at times, too.
Yeah, but do you think horniness is based out of actually horny, or do you think it's out of share like missing intimacy and missing connection?
I mean, I think it's missing intimacy probably, because if it was really just about like coming,
you just
like,
masturbate.
you can, yeah, like both of us can do that to ourselves. Like you don't need each other in any capacity to do that. So I think it does probably stem from an inherent. Like,
do you think men are lonely? Are you lonely as a man?
I wouldn't say I'm lonely. I would say
you're like, well, I'm not a loser.
Yeah, like I'm on a fucking square. I don't know if lonely is the right word. I think as I've gotten older, like I do desire to like spend time with somebody, like do things with a partner. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't, because to me, lonely is a word that if you're that, like it's affecting your day-to-day life probably,
sure.
or it's having a impact on your mental health or your happiness or whatever.
Yeah.
So.
Oh wait, can you pull up the text messages again? Mm-hmm. The receipts.
It's just you and the capital One. All right, what you got?
I asked you, do you move fast in relationships? Mm-hmm. And what did you say?
I think I said verbatim that I don't move fast, but I definitely don't move slow. I think that's actually.
And then I said something like, "So that means fast" or something.
Yeah. So then and so I know it's sweet.
2 to 4 dates you have sex.
Yeah, I would say normally. Yeah, I think that's kind of when we got into kind of the segue there about kind of moving from our date at that point to how we just see and interpret.
Yeah, if we were following your formula, which is 2 to 4, right?
Yeah.
We just went on one date that was like very like one-sided.
Yeah.
So then how do you go from that to like in your past dates? Like if we're following that formula, like we would never get there in 2 to 4 dates because of
how the first date
right
went. Yeah, I mean that's 100% correct.
But how do your normal dates go to get there in 2 to 4 dates? You have to like talk to her a little bit.
Oh, yeah, I would say, and again, like I definitely kick myself for how I asked questions or lack thereof during the entire time that we were out. I would say that's normally not the case. I feel like normally I ask a lot better questions, and it is a lot more, banter-esque and reciprocated.
Yeah, you're like, that's what I feel like is my strongest.
Yeah,
suit.
and that's why I think I was so frustrated and even like kind of confused at myself and to be honest, I think that's also why instead of just not ever texting you again or just being like,
I'm
fuck
still
it,
shocked that you're
that
here
I was like,
right now.
and I think, and not out of like something to prove, because I don't think that's healthy,
sure.
But to a certain extent, like I wasn't happy with like my performance on the date. Like it wasn't how I like to be as a person. I don't think it's how I normally.
Why did you do that?
And that's the thing, I really don't know. I think some of it was just kind of getting caught up in the moment of answering a lot of the questions.
You're like, these are cool conversations.
That you were asking, and because legitimately during the date, like there was never a point where I was like, where I actually, it clicked or realized that I wasn't
right
asking.
But there also was like no awkward silences. Like we were still having good conversations, but like you did notice me start to just be like, Like I started looking out the window.
Yeah, like I did start to notice that, and then some of that I think I interpreted rather than realizing that it was because of me not
you're like, she doesn't
engaging
like me.
with question asking. I think it was more just like I thought maybe you just weren't a fan of the answers to my questions, or again like
I'm like
you just weren't like combining my answers with maybe not being super into me,
we had like
physically.
A funny moment when that guy in the tight pants, you're like, oh, I went to college with him. Yeah. It was good.
Yeah. It just should have been more of that.
Sure.
And there sure wasn't. So I would say most of my first dates normally tend to be more like that, more
dinner dates?
I would say dinner or drinks. Every now and then I've done something that's a little bit more activity, like shoot pool or...
Oh my God, are the girls like, I don't know how to do it. Can you help me? Is it like that?
It's normally
what
not.
Kind of
normally it is like...
Like helpless damsel in distress girls?
No, actually I can't fucking stand that. It's actually
really?
one of my biggest...
Thank God.
Like
I fucking hate that women act like that.
For me, like drive, passion, about anything. It doesn't matter what it is.
It's so attractive when somebody's passionate about something.
Correct. So no, that's normally not my vibe at all. But I would say more often than not, I end up doing kind of dinner or drinks.
Are you going to do dinner and drinks after this?
Like tonight?
No, on your next date.
I mean, potentially.
Does this make you want to change how you date?
So I do like doing activities and stuff. I think because I don't think we planned this super far out, if I remember right. Maybe like a day or 2 days.
Yeah.
So I think had I asked and we planned it a little bit farther out, I probably would have been a little bit more apt to have maybe
I like last minute planning. What I liked is that you picked a place, you made a reservation, you were waiting for me outside. Like, women love initiative, and like especially today, feminism is like consuming the fucking planet like a toxic virus. No. Because it's not actually what feminism is. Like, feminism back in the day is so different than what it is now. Yep. Like how I was talking about, like, free the nipple. That's not feminism. That is like one-sided bullshit. Because you can't walk around with like fucking latex jeans on and show your dick. Like, people would be like, too much. Yeah. Like, I think everybody would be like, too much, bro. But it's like, right? If women are like, oh, boobs are for like feeding babies, then dicks are just for creating babies. And it's like, stop sexualizing dicks. They should be able to be as exposed as nipples. But like, that's not true, because women's bodies are beautiful and boobs are pretty and dicks are not. And therefore, right? But still, I would rather look at a dick than a vagina. That's how I know people are born gay. Because I still, to this day, would pick a dick or a vagina. Yeah. Still would pick it. I forgot where I was going with that.
I was talking about like initiative and making plans.
Oh, yeah. Initiative is so hot because I, as a business owner, I'm a planner, I was in the military, I've been taught how to take lead. And if a guy doesn't take lead, I will very quickly just be like, swipe left, or like, I'll fucking do it. And then the roles reverse. And I said that to you. I was like, you want me to be the girl right, or the man right now, bro? And I think I even said, bro. Like,
I think you did, yeah. Yeah, I think that was one of the voice notes, actually, and I think it was
You're like, God damn it.
I was like, damn. I was like, this is...
Because initiative is so hot, because no woman wants to be, like, unless she's, like, more of a mask. Yeah. She doesn't want to do that. She wants to sit back, and she wants the guy to be like, hey, we're going here. It's at this time. Let's be there. And then the girl can sit back and be, like, in her, like, receiving space, and then that's when opposites attract and it works. But when men are like, what do you want to do? I'm like, bitch, not hang out with you. Like, what the fuck? Yeah. And so even if it was like last minute, but you were like, oh, we're going to go throw darts at this bar, I'd be like, fuck yeah, we are. Like, you made the decision. Let's fucking do it. Like, that's what women want. Like, this is one thing that we talked about, is I said it's so much easier for men to get with women, because a lot of what we were saying is, you're like, well, I don't know if it's worth it to put the effort out, because what if she doesn't even like me? And then I just wasted all this time and energy and effort and blah, blah, blah for her to not even like me. And I'm like, no, that's backwards. You have to put the time, effort, energy, money, time spent to make her like you, to get what you want. Like, women want love, men want sex, and it's a race to see who gets there first. But the man's got to initiate. The man's got to put the effort in. The woman wants to have sex too, but she wants to have emotional sex, and the guys want that too. But you guys are just thinking with your dicks instead of your brains, and so you guys get the meaningless, dumb sex that leaves you bored anyways. Yeah,
and I think, and like I absolutely agree with that. I do think that, you know, both parties crave intimacy like that, maybe approaching it from a little bit different angles at times. Yeah. But I think from like a guy's perspective, you know, it's not so much that we don't want to put the effort in, right? Because like I actually, like, admittedly, like, I like planning dates. I like making I like having a reservation.
Do you feel like manly when you're doing that?
I mean, somewhat. I also just hate. I love spontaneity. I hate unpreparedness. I would never want to show up to a date and be like, oh, hey, let's go here. You drove or took an Uber, whatever you had to do.
Certain spontaneity feels messy.
Correct.
Yeah.
But I would also hate, and I wouldn't want it to reflect on me, of like asking you out somewhere, we meet somewhere, you got ready, drove, took an Uber, whatever you did, to show up and then be like, oh, sorry, we're full. Or, oh, sorry, like, yeah, we don't have any tables.
Failed on your part.
Or, oh, yeah, we'll have a table, but you have to wait 45 minutes. And now we're awkwardly standing there, having never met before.
Yeah.
In a lobby of a fucking restaurant
for
45 minutes.
I could deal with that moment because, yes, it's not ideal, but I think, right, like the military teaches you to be resilient. Like, oh, you didn't plan for that. You're out of ammo or water. Okay, now what the fuck are you going to do? Figure it out.
Yeah.
Those moments, I'm like, okay, let's play like heads up on our phone. Let's like do something. Like, now you have, sometimes waiting 45 minutes could be more fun than the dinner because now you're like bonding.
I just think I would be concerned with how that comes across because to me, like if I was in the girl's position at that point, I would be like did you not call, like it, because it's not overtly difficult to
It's not.
Make a phone call to get on whatever Open Table or Resi and like make a reservation somewhere or to
But
whatever.
just the fact that you even know that, like the bar for dating men is like so fucking low. The fact that you know that makes you so much more attractive than other men. Like my ex, he was military, and the military teaches you to be very fucking helpless. Like learn helplessness. I was a unit scheduler, so I could. Like you got to go to dental, you got to fire, you got to go to this, you got to process.
Yeah.
So therefore, you don't learn to do anything. I asked him to set up the fucking internet, and he was like, "How do you do that?" I'm like, "Get on your phone, you fucking
just figure it out.
You fucking knuckle dragger, just figure it the fuck out."
Yeah.
And so just the fact that you know that like planning, making reservation, like making sure you don't have this weird dwelling time makes you like so much more dateable than. I don't know how many fucking men are here, but like out of 10 men, like you're the one. Yeah. Fuck the other 9 because they're all fucking idiots. And so good job doing that.
Well, and again, like I think men do want to. I mean, I'm sure there's guys who just don't give a shit and like don't want to put an effort, and like that's their problem. But I think most guys like do want to put an effort, do want to show the person that they're dating. That
they do, but they don't do it. Why don't they fucking do it?
Well, and that's a whole other, I think, argument. But I think, and some of it, I think, potentially comes back to kind of what you said is it's figuring out that seesaw, that teeter-totter of like, is it worth it? Like, how much effort am I willing to put in?
But a lot of what you talked about was like, I don't want to put in the effort because it's not worth it.
And and I think some of it, and I think we talked about this, I don't remember if it was earlier or over text, but I think some of it, admittedly, whether it sounds, soft or whatever, but I think guys are inherently scared of getting rejected in this day and age, 100%. And so I think that's why at times we push to try to figure out, is somebody interested? Is somebody sexually interested, romantically interested, whatever, because...
Do you want some water?
I'm good.
It's over there.
Thank you, though.
Okay.
Is somebody interested in that because it gives us that little bit of security to feel comfortable putting in the effort because we know there's at least some inherent desire, whether or not it actually ends up working out, coming to fruition, getting married, whatever, right? But it takes away a little bit of that fear. Or it takes away a little bit of that.
That's why I think men pick hoes, is because hoes are like giving you physical confirmation that they want you, and women with like more class, this is gonna like, I'm gonna get so much hate in the comments for this, but like women that are hoes, they don't have fucking class. They don't have values. They don't have standards. There's like something else going on. Women without class, they will be like, oh my gosh, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then the dumb male brain thinking with your dick is like, she fucking wants you so bad, bro. She wants you. And then the intellectual side of you is like, it feels good. I guess this is how people or women show that they physically want, or if they physically want you, they emotionally want you. And so I think the physicality is a gatekeeper to the emotional fulfillment. So then when somebody's trying to get to know you as a human, you're like thinking with your dick side is like, no way, bro. She didn't pass the test. She doesn't fucking want you.
She doesn't like me.
Don't even wait. Yeah. Don't even waste your time.
Well, and it's frustrating too because at the end of the day, like we talked about just a little bit ago, like men do want connection. Men do want intimacy. Men do inherently want partnerships. And,
I think you guys are like fucking pack animals.
And
like you guys are.
Well, but like we want it. Like it can be frustrating trying to work through it ourselves too. Like I get frustrated at myself quite often, but to where like at the end of the day, we do want the emotional driven person. We don't like when it comes down to brass tacks, like
that's such a military thing.
It is. People want
just to
connection.
piggyback on what you're saying.
Like people want connection. They want intimacy. They want feelings. They want partnership. So like at the end of the day, the emotional person is what we want. I think it is very difficult at times to try to overcome that fear of rejection or just getting past your own psyche and just being like, bro, just like put the effort in, be a normal dude, get to know the person, and see if she likes you. But I think that is way harder of an impasse to get by than it should be. Mm-hmm. But I think that plays a lot into it. Like, yeah, guys enjoy having sex. Like, I've had, my share of just random, like, casual sex for sure. And, like, it is fun for what it is. But
because guys can just get off so much easier than women.
I mean, yeah.
For real.
But it's still not fulfilling to us. Like, I don't care who you talk to, what age, however douchey or nice guy they are, or fratty, or hoish as a guy, whatever, right? Like, there is a certain level of fun to any sort of casual sex, whatever. Or I guess for kind of what we talked about, like, more one-night stand type vibe than something that has any sort of emotional feeling to it. But very, like, few guys are coming away from that actually feeling fulfilled or actually genuinely enjoying it. Like,
but they keep going back to it because their craft of being resilient with women isn't developed.
Correct. And I think, again, it comes to that you end up picking, a fork in the road, right? Like, do you have self-reflection and you work to push past your own psyche and your own ego or your own fear, whatever, and actually, handle those dates with emotional, driven, passionate women the way that you should? Or do you continue to not allow that to happen and have flings and more casual sex? And that's kind of when you get into the whole, like, ghosting thing and just going on, one date and trying to fuck, and then when it doesn't happen.
Do you ghost women?
I don't, no.
When's the last time you ghosted a woman?
It's been years and years.
What do you do? What do you tell them? You call them, hey, dude.
No, I think the last time there's been one just absolutely atrocious, terrible situation that I've experienced here in Richmond so far.
Oh, share.
And it was the worst. And I don't like calling people psycho.
But she was.
But, oh my fuck, like.
What happened?
Just.
This is
and
the
this
worst
plays
date
into
ever?
your point. No, well, it was the worst subsequent few days after a date. So, and this really just kind of proves your point, so I'm glad I can do this for you.
Yay.
But, so I went out on a date with somebody here in Richmond, went out and got, like, food, drinks. We hopped around to a couple different places downtown, and then ended up coming back to her place and hooked up.
Oh.
And, obviously, like, I enjoyed both parts of the night. Like, I enjoyed the date portion. I enjoyed the sex portion. And then, we continued to text for a couple days afterwards and had the intentions of seeing each other again, regardless whether it was for physicality or for a date. Like, we had intentions and had talked about going out, getting dinner, seeing each other again. And each of us kind of had to postpone a couple times just due to, like, family stuff or job stuff or whatever. And it got to the point where, like, I woke up one night at, like, 3 a.m. and I had, like, 22 text messages from this person. So keep in mind, we'd been on one date and we had slept together one time. Mm-hmm. And we were still communicating. Like, nobody had ghosted each other. Like, we were still...
Just texting, no phone calls?
I don't think we had called. Yeah, I don't think she may have called me. And it was, and I say we only went on one date, hooked up once. Like, obviously, like, I still had my dating app profiles because I was, been on one date with this human.
As you should.
And so I woke up to like screenshots of like, I think we met on either Tinder or Bumble. I forget which one. And I woke up to... She was mad
you're still on it?
Yeah. And she was like, what the fuck? Blah, 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 blah.
She felt
like,
used.
You're a hoe, etc. And I was like, we were supposed to hang out like tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like, this is not like I didn't ghost you. And it just kept going to the point where she like...
20 text messages?
Oh, and it just, and I mean, just novels.
How long ago was this?
A couple months, probably 2.5 months.
It's kind of recent.
Yeah. To the point where like she reported all my dating profiles and got me like kicked off.
Fuck off. Wait,
like,
she probably
Hinge.
Posted you in that group. Like, are we dating?
She probably did, to be honest.
Oh my god.
So
wait, can? My phone is busy. I'm not in that group, but
I'm not either, admittedly, obviously. But yeah, so that was super. But it was. Yeah, like, and again, not going to air out a ton of it because, you know, privacy.
Well, how did you respond
and
to that?
I was pretty much like, this is wholly unacceptable. I was like, it's 3 a.m.
Did you text her back or you called her?
I texted her because it was 3 a.m. and I was half asleep still.
But 3 a.m. Was it a weekend? That's crazy.
Maybe.
Was she super hot?
She wasn't unattractive. I wouldn't say she was like a 10 out of 10, but
she was
yeah.
Cute.
And yeah, like, so all that to say, and it went back and forth, and I essentially was like, it got to a point where I was like, please do not contact me again.
Really?
Like, this is ridiculous. We've been on one date, one time.
Stop.
Like, this is just insanity. And so at that point, I texted that and then just ghosted her. Like, she blew up my phone. I think eventually I ended up like blocking her number just because I didn't want to get random
Did she know where you live?
No. Luckily, so that's good.
Wow. Did that make you like leery of hooking up with women right away?
It
probably not for very long.
It didn't make me leery, but I was more just like, what the fuck? Like, it's not cool. So again, kind of long-winded way to say that's probably the last time. So like somewhat recently, but that one I feel like was merited at that point. And I wouldn't say I really ghosted. Like I was pretty much like, please don't talk to me again. Aside from that, like
that's scary. If a guy did that, it would be like so much of a bigger deal.
Yeah, and it was just, I was like, this is super inappropriate. Like we're both adults. She was in like her late 20s, so like you are a grown woman.
Yeah. You're an adult.
Act like an adult. And it just was not that way at all. So.
Ooh, what if she listens to the show?
Yeah. So if that happens,
stop doing that, girl. Stop being crazy.
Nothing but love, but that was weird.
Love from afar.
Yeah, please.
Whoa. Is that your worst date?
I would say that's the worst aftermath from a date. The date was fine. Like, there was nothing inherently wrong or anything with the interaction. That's the worst aftermath for sure that I've had on a date.
That's crazy.
But yeah, so I really, really try not to ghost, which I think was why I was so appreciative of how you handled the situation when we texted afterwards. Was because I appreciated that you didn't just...
I for sure thought you said
blow
something...
me off or ghost me or whatever, so...
You said something about something, I don't know, and then I was like, no problem. I for sure thought that was going to be like the end of the conversation.
I think I said something like, so I'm assuming we probably won't be seeing each other again, or like there won't, or... Yeah, like there was something where I was like, well, if that's the case, like I don't necessarily see us seeing each other again or whatever. And then you said no problem. And then, yeah, I said something that kind of like, I think kept the...
You kept texting me and I was like,
yeah,
he's still going. I'm just going to go with it. And like, I didn't go into... Like, so I got off... I have one episode called I Quit Dating because I got off dating apps for like fucking 9 months. And like, I didn't date anybody. I was like open to meeting somebody organically, but like that just doesn't happen. Like people don't speak to each other, which is like dating apps need to fucking go away. So people like, of course, this conversation could not be happening without, but this conversation shouldn't like the like plight of how shitty dating is today shouldn't be a problem, but it is a problem because dating apps. It's like dating apps need to go the fuck away for people to be happy
a forcing function for organic.
Yeah, when I was in Mexico and Peru, people are just like, oh, hi, oh, you, like, men are so much more forward. Like, that's just Latin culture to be like, you're so beautiful, do you want to marry? Like, they'll just propose to you on the street, and you're like, obviously this isn't real. But it's fun, and it's flirty, and it's this, and, people, like, men in the States, they'll see a hot girl coming, they're like, oh, my phone.
Yeah.
And then she'll leave and they'll be like, oh, I wish I could talk to her. It's like, why don't you just say hi?
Well, again, like, I think it's the fear of rejection thing, right? Like, it's we don't want to be told.
Women have that too, though.
You don't want to date us. We don't want to end up on somebody's podcast. We don't want to end up on somebody's TikTok. We don't want to end, like, we're so inherently
scared,
worried about that, and so scared of that it really has killed any sort of, like, organic conversation, whatever, meetups at bars
you say anything. Oh, you look beautiful. I have a boyfriend.
Yeah.
Like, fuck off.
And so and not to say that men are, like, the victims of this, like, we suck at dating and we don't handle conversations well.
I think it's a hard time to be a man. Like, speaking as not a man, and just my opinion is, like, and you can, like, tell me if you think it's different, but, like, I think it's a hard time to be a man because it's, like, manliness is not encouraged. It's, like, everybody is, like, men and women are equal, which I don't think that they fucking are. I had this conversation with somebody about how I was in Mexico, and I was saying, like, I don't think women should be in combat roles, and I don't think women should be rangers, and I don't think women should be able to be in deployed jobs where they're on the front lines, because if bro gets shot and he's 250 and she's 145, is she gonna be able to, like, carry his dead weight out? Fuck no. And, like, she's gonna, like, die, get them both killed on the way out, and, like, that they changed testing for the ranger woman or whoever to clear it. Like, she sucked. She was amazing, but, like, she sucked at passing their test because she's a woman and the test is not made for women. And, like, it's such a weird time to say that, like, we are equal. Like, no, you're inherently stronger than me. I want you to fix my fucking dryer thing, which we both can't do. No. But, like, when men and women come in contact with each other, if there is an emergency, the woman's going to look to the man and be like, solve this problem. And the man is going to look to the woman to be like, okay, you are, like, the nurturing type, and, like, you're going to blah, 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 you're going to take care of me, and I'm going to, like, solve problems for us. And that is how men and women work. But nowadays, it's like, fuck no, I can do that and my job. I don't fucking need you.
Yeah.
And, like, I agree with it. Like, I am of the mindset, like, I don't need a man. I want a man. But there's, like, no fucking men to pick from.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a lot of that mindset in today's society has killed guys wanting to take the initiative.
Yeah.
Across the board, whether that's planning dates, whether that's, you know, making eye contact and saying what's up at a bar or on the street, whether that's, you know, even on a first date, like, initiating any sort of even physical contact or flirtiness, like, across, like, the gamut.
Yeah, because the thing that you wanted me to do is be like, wow, you have tattoos.
And yet, like,
you wouldn't even do that to me.
Yeah, because to me, I'm so tattoos. Yeah. Which, again, like, by the way, she did send me a lot of good bait that I definitely did not use during the date.
Oh yeah, I sent you all my Instagram pictures.
Like, very good subject matter that I could have.
Like, look, my whole butt is out, and you didn't even say anything about my giant tattoo. Just make sure they're not being mean to your Range Rover over there. Is that what you drive, a Range Rover?
No, I drive
it's a Bronco.
Bronco, yeah.
This podcast is only going to bring you all these women who are like, let me date Jake.
Or they're going to hate me. One of the two. There's probably not a little middle ground.
Hopefully people do hate what we're saying a little bit, so they give us engagement. Social media is about pissing people off.
It's fair. It's
what the fuck are people doing?
It's like I think it's just traffic. It's like the
there's a bus.
No. It's like the whole idea of, like, there's no such thing as bad publicity.
I mean, ask Trump that.
Yeah.
Him and Epstein will say otherwise. Yeah. Do you believe that those Epstein files are true? That they're going to release?
I think they're... I mean, I think the files are as true as what exists in actual hard copy. I don't think...
You think that they deleted anything?
I think there's definitely...
Redacted?
Stuff with high-level people in our government and entertainment industry.
Oh, for sure.
Finance industry and whatever that have influence over what exists and what doesn't. So I think what they will release will be accurate for what it is.
Well, Trump even said the Epstein files are a hoax before, and now he's like, I signed to release them. It's like, I thought it was a hoax.
I don't think they're a hoax. I think they are incriminating, or I think they are what they say they are. I don't necessarily think it will tell the whole story.
They'll be like, so and so did this, but Trump. Now Trump, he's a dumb
or
one.
there will be very specific people that are conveniently not on there that you would have thought for sure were. So yeah, that's gonna be
that'll be interesting.
As we go along, but no, I think a lot of that is kind of what you mentioned about society. I hate the phrase like oh, it's tough to be a guy. But like there are certain in dating, like there definitely are certain parts of dating to where it is difficult.
Where are the tough parts for men in dating?
I would say I think it's changed for me as I've gotten older. So kind of what I've actually started experiencing more as I've gotten older, being 32, is I think some of what you mentioned where hyper independence from a woman's standpoint is seen as so positive now at times in society, that what I'm seeing now as I'm like starting to date people and meet people again is like a mix of just not being interested in having anything serious and or the old adage of just being emotionally unavailable. Now, I think the whole emotionally unavailable thing, I think at times is true because people have to get over stuff in their life and whatever. I do think there is some truth to that. I think a lot of emotional unavailability is a lot of the with you part is silent.
What do you mean?
When someone says like, oh, I'm just not ready for a relationship. I'm just not at a place right now.
Yeah, just say it like with you.
Correct. And again, not to scapegoat, like I'm sure there are people that have had really traumatic experiences in relationships and abuse situations and on the male and the male and female side.
Oh my God, my first episode is called I Survived a Domestic Violence.
Yeah. Like it's so absolutely not to downplay or to make light of that. Like I am sure there are a ton of situations where it is more than accurate. But I think there are also quite a few situations where that is not the case. So, and I don't necessarily think that it is difficult as just a man in that situation, but I think as an older male now, like being over 30 at an age where I would like to settle down, I feel like I have a good career, I would like to have kids, etc., that now then wanting to take that, couple that with initiative and wanting to not move quickly, but not wanting to drag my feet, not wanting to, just be friends.
You want to have kids, so I don't want to have kids.
Yeah.
I've been saying that since I was 5 years old, and I'm very well aware that shrinks the pool of men that like are available to me.
Yeah.
I think a lot of men want kids because they have this innate desire to just fucking spread their seed. Like, to be blank, I think there's a big caveman side to all of us where we're just like, fire, food, babies, Like, there's a comedian who makes a joke about, like, men want kids like kids want dogs. Kids are like, I promise I'll take care of it. I'll take it for walks every day. And then they get it and they're like, this is a lot of work.
They love the idea of it. Or they like...
So I think a lot of men my age are like, I want to have kids. I'm like, do you? Because you can't even tell me that you're sad right now. And I know you're fucking sad.
Like, you can't even be emotionally intelligent for yourself. How are you
going to how are you going to raise a child? Like, you're going to pass on trauma. And so, like, what are your thoughts of, like, women in your pool? Like, more and more women today are not wanting to have kids.
Yeah.
And, like, what are your thoughts on, like, the dating pool is growing increasingly slimmer on, like, if you want to have kids, this is why a lot of older men like younger women is because they're like, I want to have babies. And they're more of, like, the trad wife mentality because they don't fucking know yet. They haven't been burned.
Yeah.
Do you have thoughts on this? Like, the women you actually can have, like, a good, compatible, intelligent relationship with probably don't fucking want to have kids. The young children that want kids, you probably don't like them.
I would say...
And then you end up divorcing that little girl to go date a woman who doesn't want kids that you should have been with in the first place.
Yeah, and you just wasted time and people's emotions and...
Prime on the child.
Yeah. I mean, I would say that's definitely the case. I think that does play a big part into why older men tend to want to date younger women.
But then they always leave them because they're dumb.
As far as the dating pool around like my age and stuff, our age, because we're not that far apart, really.
Senior.
Yeah.
Like, could you ever date me? Because I don't want to have kids. Does that, you're like, in your brain?
I wouldn't necessarily say it's like a deal breaker. You know, it's something that I would like to have in my life. But if, you know, I met somebody or, you know, dated somebody, enjoyed doing life with somebody to whatever extent that we were doing that, I wouldn't necessarily like draw the line.
That's good, because I think people sacrifice a good, fun life to check this kid box, and they're like, fuck, I shouldn't have done that.
So, you know, again, is it something that I, as of right now, like see as a part of my life at some point? Like, yeah. But again, that's probably not happening anytime soon.
Because, you'd have to have kids. Like, say you meet a woman who's 32.
No.
She's geriatric in the eyes of medical.
Yeah.
She would have to have kids almost immediately, like within a year, to not have a kid, potentially something wrong with it. Like, my stepmom had a kid at like 40. Kid's fine, you know? But, like,
it's a numbers game at that point.
Yeah, it's fucking risky. So it's like, if you want to have a kid with somebody your age, she either, like, I'm 35. Say I don't want to have kids. Say I did. That means I would have had to have frozen my eggs when I was like 30.
Yeah.
And then been ready to maybe change like a huge life decision for a relationship, or you get a girl pregnant way sooner than you're fucking ready just to check a box, and then now you have child support. Now you have like, you don't know her that well. You don't know her family. Like, nothing, just to have a kid. And it's like, you've now
a healthy situation at all.
You've created a fucking human with maybe like a super hot stripper, because a lot of army guys like to do that.
Fortunately so.
And then unfortunately they're tied to that like trailer trash life that they didn't even want.
Yeah. No, I think the kids thing is a super under talked about thing as you get older, because I think people either just assume that everybody wants kids at some point, or it's just kind of like, I would argue talking about kids is more taboo than talking about sex nowadays on dates or about design. Like, I feel like it would be less taboo for us to talk about like bedroom interests nowadays than it would be to talk about like how do you want kids, where do you like, what do you want for a family,
feel like
etc.
It's like, men don't, I know that I scare a lot of men, because I'm like, yo, when's the last time you had sex? Tell me the truth. I don't care. I'm just trying to have an open conversation. Yeah. And they're like, yeah, that's fucking weird. I don't want to talk about it. They want to do it with you, but they don't want to speak about it.
Yeah, and I think in a situation like that, I think they would want to talk about sexual things with you. They don't want to necessarily talk about their sexual past, because whether you say, hey, it's cool, I'm just curious, I want to hear about your interests, whatever, that guy is going to immediately be super worried about, what if I do say something? Yeah. Like, hey, it looks like we might fuck. I don't want to risk. Like, she seems interested in fucking me. Yeah, like, don't fuck it up. Yeah, be like, she wants to fuck me now. I'm just going to keep my mouth shut or whatever, instead of being like, oh, you asked me when the last time I had sex was. I was like, oh, it was 3 weeks ago.
I asked this guy yesterday. He was like, I don't want to talk about that. But he sure wanted to try to fuck. He tried to take me back to his house to show me a view. And I was like, I don't want to go to your apartment. He was like, really? I'm like, for real? You don't even know me. He's like, we met last week. We've known each other for a whole week. I'm like, we did a video chat and you said that I had to call you. You don't fucking know me.
Yeah, it's
like,
wild.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. It, like, with honest, like, speaking about, like, my friend pool, they are honest, they are, like, charismatic, they are, like, open like I am. If you are open and you talk about fucking someone else, or, like, your honesty puts you in a different category for me. Yeah. Your vulnerability puts you in. Now, if you say some, like, scary shit, we're like, okay, we're done. You're gonna lock me in a fucking basement. Like, no.
Something super out of pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah. like there's levels to the shit for sure.
I had a guy tell me very recently that he barked at me when he was drunk. I was like, stop doing that immediately, because I'm a dog trainer, and he was like, I was like, this is not the first time I've ever had this. Stop it, no more.
That's not the vibe.
It's fucking weird. Yeah. And he was like, well, I used to date this girl who was like into being like a cat, and I was the dog, and I was like, stop it.
Yep.
We're done.
See, that perfect example of keeping your mouth shut. Like, she might have wanted to fuck you before. You say that,
fucking ruined it.
That's when you mess it up. So you gotta have a little bit of
Oh my God, I was thinking about
discerning.
you the other day, because this same guy, I kissed him. It was so fucking bad. We had great chemistry all fucking night. Kissed him, and I was like, what am I going to teach you how to make out when you're 32?
Hate to see it.
Because that's something you talked about is like, What if you put in all this time and effort, you're dating, you build this connection, and you fuck, and it's bad. And then you just built up all of this connection. Now you have bad sex. Yeah. And I was like, well, you just would talk about it. And I thought about you because I was like, I don't want to teach this man how to make out. So like, I get where you're coming from with that. I
think there is a certain amount that you can talk through, and I think the amount that you can talk through depends on how much of a connection you have.
Yeah.
You know, or I'm guessing even your willingness to engage in conversation like that, to teach, for lack of a better term.
Yeah. It is teaching.
Is probably tied to a certain extent about how much you enjoy this person outside of the bedroom, obviously, the connection you have with them, a connection you feel like you could continue to have with them, etc. What you've invested into them, right? Like your desire to continue to make it work.
Have you had that where you like really, really liked the girl, and the sex was like, and you like talked about it and improved? That means no.
Luckily, I don't think I've really ever been in any sort of like relationship where the intimacy was like just not like it just wasn't fun, or like you could tell between the two of us it just wasn't it. Now, I mean, I've had bad sex, and both from
with a hookup, or was a girlfriend?
Probably more with the hookup, and again, some of that could be if you're intoxicated. I think certain people just don't have sexual chemistry necessarily. Like your bodies just don't.
It's so you
gel together.
Literally, scientists can't explain how chemistry fucking works.
There's no rhythm. Like whatever
you're just
adjective,
like,
verb you want to use. Yeah, like I've had situations like that. I've had bad sex. I am sure that I have had at least half or my fair share of why that was bad. Again, not to say that I'm, whatever, by any stretch of the imagination. But I think I have been pretty fortunate to where I don't think in any sort of quasi-serious to serious relationship that, I've had, it's been a situation where we've had to have a sit down and like,
you're like,
hey, how do we make this better?
Yeah.
I have had some really good conversations about, once we've known each other a little bit longer, like talking about interests and talking about things maybe outside of just traditional, like just missionary or like, expressing and exploring interests. And I think being able to have those conversations
like
is just exactly that one. How did you know? That's my MO for sure. And I think being able to have those conversations is just as important as it is to have conversations about how do we.
It's a hard thing because it's like if you talk about it, if you don't let things flow, then you fuck up the organic.
Yeah.
And if you talk about it immediately after, then it is like corrective action. You're like schooling them. And then if you talk about it too much after, then they're like, were you faking?
Yeah. Or like, why didn't you bring this up?
Yes. And then you're like, well, when am I supposed to bring it up?
Yeah. And I think a lot of that, both from the guy and the girl's perspective, is how do you approach that? The way in which you go about doing that, right? Like, how are you...
Do you think it's
coaching them? How are you...
I think mid-sex, it's like okay to do it in the moment.
I think mid-sex, and I think even... So, for example, like, let's say, you and I were engaging in something like that, right? Like, obviously in the moment, great, no issue with that. But even like, let's say there was something that we were doing, it just wasn't vibing, right?
Sure.
Like, at that time. Like, if you approach it and said, hey, like, I actually really enjoy if you were to do this. Or or even afterwards. And
how soon after? Like, your head's hit the pillow, you're like, all right, no.
I wouldn't necessarily say, like, right afterwards, but I would say, like...
Is there a vibe you're waiting for?
I don't necessarily think, or even, like, maybe even you could, like, as a guy, like, I think it would be super attractive or hot if the person that I was, like, sleeping with was kind of almost used that as like a way to initiate too.
Oh, like, hey, like let me show you.
Or like, hey, like, I really like this. Or like you kind of start like making out, doing whatever, and then you're like, hey, like I would really love for you to do this. Or I would really like for you to do this. Or even if I never did it, you could lie to me a little bit and be like, hey, like I actually love when you do
Yeah,
this.
it's
and
like
then I'm like, oh shit.
saying
like,
what you
I'll
like
make sure I do
bring
that.
more of that.
Correct.
Instead
in the
of
moment,
saying like, don't do that.
Yeah, I think more of like, hey, I really like this. I really like when you do this. This feels really good. Because my only goal at that point is I'm like, well, fuck yeah.
I want
like,
more
I
of
want to
that
do
praise.
that. Like, yeah, tell me that.
That's something else we talked
that.
about is like men are doing things to get like compliments and like affirmations from like, you did good. That was great, babe. Like that was
100%.
I talk about that in my first episode too, that men are just like super not offensive, but like men are like very similar to dog training where like if you do this thing and you give like the positive reinforcement, it's like you're adding something to reinforce a certain behavior.
Yeah.
The same thing works in humans. Like men are just working to get patted on the head by the woman that they like. Like
I mean, yeah,
that's
like
it.
I would 100% agree with that. Like there is something that just inherently feels very rewarding about the person that you have feelings for, like being pleased with whatever you did, whether it's you planned a good dinner, whether it was you did XYZ for her without being asked or without being reminded, whether it's in the bedroom, whether it's whatever. Like there is something.
This is why women love it when you guys like sweep and fold the laundry because we're like, fuck, it's so hot. You just like took initiative to do it.
And then subsequently, like if you then literally tell us that, like that's super fucking hot to us, and that like feels very good, like that validation, that because at the end of the day, like we said, people crave connection, people crave intimacy. Intimacy isn't just fucking putting your dick inside of somebody. Like intimacy is having those conversations, having those connections, having those...
Like being intimate is not intimacy.
Correct. There's, completely non-physical ways to be intimate, I would argue. I think we talked about this some in text, or more so you would argue from what you had said, like intimacy or being intimate and intimacy in general is arguably more mental and emotional than it is
like
anything physical.
Women will come so much faster if they like you. Like that, we were talking about that girl who went on the date and was like, this date sucked, they didn't have sex, can I come back over? And it's because like she felt safe with you and like accepted by you and like is attracted to you and had good sex with you before, but because the good sex is based upon like your guys' former connection. And that's why women go and men go back to their exes and they'll be broken up somebody for years and then still fantasize about them.
There's this level of security, comfortability, like safe. The known.
And this is also why women like dad bods more than they like, like, I dated one guy for 6 months and he was like cut, and this was after like I was with somebody else who's more like strongman body, like bigger, like you're on the verge of like chubby, but you're like big, you're like a thick guy. And this guy was like a fucking ice sculpture. He was like cut. And I after a while, I was like, God, he's eating macros, like only, like he's worried so much. Like women want to see like fluffy muscles. That's what women like. Like a dirty bulk body is like fine. Like men, there's so many men out here that are so much more attractive to the female gaze than they think. But men are like, oh, you see that horseshoe? That's like for the guy.
Yeah.
Women don't
100%.
fucking care about that. Women don't actually care about six packs.
Anything you post on social media as a guy that is anything related to like gym content.
You have so much gym content.
I do. Admittedly, my Instagram is a little, not as much anymore, but if you go back to...
What is your Instagram now?
What do you mean?
Biker boy.
So I don't really post a ton on my Instagram much anymore. I would say it's shifted in the last few years to be kind of just places I've gone, travels, more. A lot more stuff like on my stories. I've tried to be kind of artsy with it and do the little highlights thing with all the little flags and stories of where I've been in those countries and stuff.
Like stickers and stuff on your stories?
So
it's fun to do that kind of stuff.
More that way, but admittedly, like 2021 and prior, for like a couple years was definitely a little bit gym bro.
I think a lot of when you
douchey.
First get into the gym, you're so proud of your like dedication and success that it becomes your personality. Like
100%.
All of my old Instagram was like gym, because I did bodybuilding and I competed, and so I was like, oh fuck yeah, and then I did powerlifting and I did strongman. I was like, this is my whole fucking life, and like I did measure and weigh my food every single fucking meal. It is your fucking life.
Yeah, 100%. Like, kind of a similar boat, right? Like, I did, like, men's physique and stuff in, like, 2020, 2021. And so just doing
right during
that,
COVID?
Yeah.
Damn.
So doing any sort of that lifestyle, right? Like, you kind of just become immersed in it, and that just kind of becomes your for most people, their
You're like,
life,
anyone who doesn't lift is so dumb.
Yeah. But again, like we said, like, as a guy, at least posting gym content, the only, like, 99% of the engagement, whether it's likes, comments, whatever, are from other dudes. Like, that is not for the female gaze. I think there are a very small niche of
which it doesn't
women
make
in
sense,
that,
right? I'm sure men think, like, my body is so chiseled and looks so strong. Women should
like,
love
they're
this.
gonna like, I'm doing this, like, I'm gonna look great at the beach, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, and I think I've realized that, and I don't necessarily think that's why I've segued away from doing that as much, but I have realized in the last few years, like, it just really doesn't matter that much. Like, I enjoy being fit, I enjoy working out, but I also enjoy, like, drinking beer and eating food, eating two
That's why I said I'm just, like,
desserts
wearing fucking
and coffee
sweats and chilling. Like,
yeah. And we can go get 2 desserts and coffee, and, like, I don't care, and stuff like that, and eat chocolate, and eat little marshmallow puff Christmas tree cake thing.
Where's the other one? Let's bust the other one out.
There's 3 more.
No, I don't really like those. Those slash taste like Febreze a little bit.
Do you want me to keep talking, or?
No, just open it and then we'll talk, because it will just sound like weird. Okay.
Still
I bet this one will be
but
better.
it's chocolate, so more up your alley.
But I like pastries more. Are you doing
Dude, this is so fun. I'm loving this.
Good. I'm glad you like this.
Yeah. Thank you for inviting me.
I'm so, like, not shocked that you're here, but I'm like, this is such a pleasant surprise, because the amount of men that would want to do this.
Yeah.
Or I've had some guys be like, yeah, I'll do it. But they're like, they don't want to be on camera. And I'm like, no. It's like, when I first started this, my co-host was like, I don't want to be on camera because this. I'm like, all right, bro. And I told him, like, look, I ran a business for 10 years. You have to be on camera. Like, a faceless podcast sucks. And he was like, no. And I was like, all right, I just want to get the ball rolling, so fuck it, whatever. And then he quit because I am the way that I am, and he's very indecisive.
Yeah.
And I was like, just make a decision. He took on the role of wanting to be the editor, and I was like, editing's a lot. Like, I was going to hire. He wanted to do it. And, okay, one for you.
Yep.
And
Can you take the first bite?
He didn't want to know. Cheers. He didn't want to be on camera. So ever since I went to video, it's gotten way better.
I mean, this one's better.
This one, it's not white chocolate. It's fucking weird. Mm-hmm. This one's way better. They're like hearty, right? Mm-hmm. It was $6. I was like, these bitches better be good.
Golly. They are pretty tasty. I'll give them that. Like, the chocolate one's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. That one fucking sucks. Mm-hmm. Oh, fuck, what was I gonna ask you? Okay. Pull up your Instagram, your Explorer page. Do you want to connect to my Wi-Fi?
That's all right. All right, do you want to explore? It's mostly...
Oh, this is like pleasantly surprising.
It's probably mostly gym and snowboarding.
Can I scroll on your actual feed?
You can, yeah.
Sure. God, see, this is for dudes.
Yeah.
Let's look at the comments. It's this really buff shredded guy. It's all men.
Yeah.
King. Here's some girls. Heart react. All men. Sick, bro. One girl left like squirting emojis.
But honestly, in my opinion, most of the women that comment on stuff like that are the niche, like, they do women's figure, they do women's body, like that. They live that lifestyle, like 24/7, 365, whatever. That is not your average.
It's like my vibes. I want to be like this girl.
Oh, like kind of a black and white, artsy, adventure-y.
Just a snowboarding adventure.
Oh, just snowboarding.
Girl. Yeah.
Yeah, my feed is mostly snowboarding because that's...
The sluttiest thing a man can do is psychoanalyze you with surgical precision and then calmly recline, creating subtle openings for you to... Why are they spelling it like this? Psychoanalyze him because he knows you're filthy for it. That's not how you spell psychoanalyze. Okay, so what I was going to ask you is... Yeah. Oh, this is a cool ad. Like, men's feeds will just be, like, naked girls. Like naked girls. But yours isn't not. So that's a green flag.
Hell yeah.
He did it.
You got to be good at something every now and then.
Okay, the reason I was going to ask, your feed is like really boring. Which is a good thing.
Yeah.
A good
Fair.
thing. Your Explorer page is pretty boring. The only girls that really are there are like lifting girls. But they're not like the like naked girls. There's like naked fit girls and then there's like fit
Like
girls.
fitness.
Like the fit girls on your Explorer page are girls who do not wear scrunch butt leggings. I refuse to fucking wear scrunch butt leggings ever, especially to the gym, because those are fake workout girls. Those are Instagram models.
100%.
Girls that wear scrunch butt leggings, they're not real. They're doing it for attention. I do wear scrunch butt bathing suit, bikini, because like you're wearing a cute bikini for attention.
Yeah.
So it's within the realm.
Yeah, 100%.
Totally allowed. But what I was going to ask is, what is your opinion on men just looking at like all these hoes and then being like, it's nothing, babe, it's nothing, I promise.
So when I was, and if we're going to be super honest on this podcast, which we're going to be.
That's the only way to be.
Hell yeah. So when I was a little bit younger, a few years ago, starting off in, I guess it was like my last serious relationship that I had. And some of this, I don't know if it coincides. Some of it may have been because I was doing the bodybuilding thing, and I just, again, thought I was doing stuff for the female gaze and whatever. My Instagram was a lot more of that oriented, probably. And it really...
like, yeah, tits.
And it really took, like, being in this past relationship that I was in for a few years to really make me realize, like, that is not...
Because she didn't like it?
Correct. And
she was mad.
She definitely didn't like it, and she was very vocal about...
Good for whoever this girl is.
Yeah. About her lack of enjoyment of seeing that on my, my social media.
Yeah, because they're like, I don't look like that. And you're just liking all these bitches' pictures. Are you thinking, I don't think like this, but like, are you thinking about them? Like, why is that okay? I feel weird when you look at that.
Yeah. And so, like, again, not giving me the pot calling the kettle black. Like, that was something like I struggled with a little bit, or was definitely more present on my social media and when I was a little bit younger. So I do appreciate that individual that I dated, even though it probably did frustrate me at the time and we had arguments.
You're like, what do you fucking mean? It's just a picture.
It definitely paid dividends because I definitely have less of that and just less of that kind of vibe, and that's not the portrayal of myself that I necessarily want to put out there.
What do you think about porn and like watching porn and then like sex in real life?
As far as, do I think people should be watching porn, or it's okay?
Like anything. Like, what are your thoughts on it?
I don't have any. So inherently, I don't have an issue with porn. Where I start having an issue with it is like from either the guy or the girl's perspective. Is like if the person that I'm sleeping with is not.
The other one turned my teeth red that I ate earlier. I just got them white in Mexico too, so I'm like very protective of them.
No, they look good still. You're good. Yeah. Hell yeah. I would say where I draw the line is, well, one, communicate about it. I think doing it in secret or like...
I had an ex do that. He had a phone in the bathroom that he would secretly watch
that's
on.
fucking weird.
That's weird, right?
You're
that's
an adult.
Like shame.
Like everybody's... Okay, not every... Almost every grown adult at some point has watched something pornographic.
Sure.
So
I would like to meet a person who has never, ever
Exactly.
watched. I'm like, who are you? A fucking monk?
So I think communication on it, if you don't do that, it's a no. Like, it's an immediate red flag.
If you don't communicate about watching porn.
Correct. Or if you lie and say that you don't, or if someone thinks that you are, etc. And I think more so I'm speaking of like in a relationship. I think if you're single or whatever, I think there's levels to it. Just like everything.
You
I think
pronounce
if you
your T's like so well.
Is that a good thing?
It's just an observation. You just do. You say like don't.
Don't.
You're gonna be like, well, because most people just say don't.
And now I'm gonna like hear the T's every time.
It's not bad. It's just like if somebody says months instead of months.
Yeah.
You're like, what do you say? Because it's proper. It's just proper English.
Yeah, that's fair.
So proper.
So proper. Yeah, I think if you're single, whatever, but I think it's in moderation, right? If it's something that you've become addicted to where you can't get off without it,
it's creating unrealistic expectations.
But it is inherently creating. It is though. Like they've done studies that show that porn fucks up your real sex life because you'll watch porn and the women are like, oh my God, like no, you're probably hitting her cervix and she's probably actually in fucking pain.
In pain.
And she's probably not even turned on. She's probably not coming. Like she is. It's like a trained response at this point.
Yeah.
And then also you watch porn and there's no effort. Like there's no male initiative of like courting her and foreplay and making this happen. You were just like, ugh.
It's just
you come. And then when you have to court and foreplay in real life, you're like, God, you're so much work. It's like, do you know where the clit is? She wants to make out. Like, I've had men rub my thigh and I'm like,
that's crazy.
And he was like 40 and I was like, well, that's my thigh.
It's on the bottom, right?
The clit?
Yeah.
It's somewhere. It's a mystery.
Hell yeah.
It you know what? Elusive. Who knows?
I knew it. Yeah, I mean, so I do go back and forth about inherently, I think, this is going to sound really weird, if you watch your porn responsibly, which is a wild statement.
You need to have a license. Well, in Virginia, you have to like register your ID to go on Pornhub.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Don't use Pornhub, guys.
Yeah, don't do it.
Or use a VPN.
Yep, 100% do that.
Sponsored by Express VPN.
Bing, 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 bing.
One day.
So I think I think just like everything, there's levels to it. I think if it's come to a point where it has become an addiction, if it really is something to where you are watching porn every day to jerk off, etc., like that's a problem. I think every now and then, especially if you are single, whatever, and you want to enjoy something like that, guy or girl, like I don't have a huge issue with it. I don't really think there should ever be a need to watch it in a relationship. I think if you're having to watch porn in a relationship,
have you ever watched porn with a partner?
I have, and that's actually what I was just about to say.
It's so awkward.
I've had it both ways. I've had it be very awkward in one situation, and then I've had it actually be very, very hot in another situation.
See, you can hear your tea?
Oh, yeah.
Proper
but I
taste.
think one of them, in the situation where it was awkward, we were literally just kind of watching it. In the other one, we were like watching it while we were like fooling around and trying to kind of like recreate what we were watching and stuff.
Sure.
So that was kind of hot in a way. But overarchingly, I feel if you are in a relationship and you are having to watch porn, whether you're the guy or the girl, you probably don't have a super healthy sex life, and that's probably a conversation that you need to have with your significant other. About what you guys are or
there's
aren't
so
doing.
much beneath the surface. Another thing, I had an ex, the same ex, who had his like secret phone.
Yeah.
And he was really religious, which is funny because it was supposed to be like the most like pure people. I'm like, oh no. He was also paying to do like cam girl stuff before OnlyFans was a thing.
Yeah.
Because you just like comment and they'll do something for you, or I don't even know, like give you a shout out while they like fucking do something to themselves. I have no idea. But I was like, what? I've done a very good job my whole life to be like, oh, is he not turned on by me? Like, no, fuck you. I know I have a good body. It's you. There's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
And so when he did that, I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? That you need to do that in a marriage. Like, we have sex all the time. What the fuck?
Well, and at that point too, like when you're talking about doing, I guess, back then, like cam girl type stuff, nowadays with like OnlyFans.
Now it's super normal.
But also, like, to me, doing that is even worse.
It's weird.
If you're engaging with people like that, because it's adding a level of personal to it. Getting onto Pornhub and watching some random video. It was very
hurtful to find that.
I'm sure. Yeah, like that's because it ties a level of realness, like a connection to that person in some capacity. If you're just randomly watching some, I guess back in the day when you could order porn or like the Playboy channel or whatever.
You could go to the movies like Blockbuster and they'd have it in the back, like corded off.
Like I think that's one thing. I think doing.
Can you imagine touching those tapes that all dudes have touched?
There's no way they sanitize them.
Fuck no.
No way.
Oh.
Shout out Blockbuster. That's why you went out of business.
Oh my god. You think that's why? Did you know there was one Blockbuster left? It's an Airbnb.
Damn.
In Oregon, in Astoria, Oregon. Have you ever seen The Goonies?
I have.
That's where they filmed it, in Astoria.
Oh shit. Okay.
Very cool. If you look it up, you can. It's like reserved for like 4 years into the future.
Damn.
Like everybody.
And no adult tapes anymore. Probably.
They make their own there. There's probably like OnlyFans that goes on there. That's why it's rented out for 3 years.
That's probably exactly. It's just back to back.
It's just no blacklight in there.
Owned by the porn industry. So yeah, I'm not a. I would say in relationships, I'm not a big fan of it. I don't see really the point of it. I think maybe if one of you has some sort of like kink or something you talk about together and that's something you share together, that's one thing. I think if you're just doing it in the bathroom by yourself, or if you're the girl, if you're doing it, if your husband's at work and you're just sitting at home watching porn, or if he's on a business, whatever, right?
Yeah. They're just watching it like it's Netflix. They're like, huh, it's a good storyline.
I think that's when you have a problem.
I've used porn with a partner before. We did like long distance for a little bit.
Yeah.
To be like, this is what I like. Do you like that? Like exploration type of things. Yeah. It's a good. There was also like a language barrier there.
Gotcha.
And so it was nice to be like, this is what I like. Yeah. And then like he didn't do it at all, and I was like, oh, okay.
Like I led you to water, and you just
yeah. Fucking drink the goddamn water.
So I think in instances like that, like it can be good,
sure.
But I think those are kind of niche, and overarchingly, it's especially in relationships. Single, I would say I view it a little bit differently.
Yeah.
But in relationships, not as big of a fan of it, really.
I just hate when I remember in the military there was just like couple, you weren't a cop, but like you're posted with somebody for 14 fucking hours. You get to know them so well. Like you spend more time with their husband than they do. Yeah. And like being one of the only females on a flight, like, man, I had wives I was like, I do not want your dusty ass gross husband. Like, no. Yeah. But you'd be posted with women occasionally, and like you'd get into conversations, and like this one lady, Beverly, she like, I fucking hated her and her husband. She was like, no, he is like not allowed to watch porn because it's cheating on me. And I'm like, no, it is not. Like that's fucking weird thought, like controlling thought process. And it's like, one thing that I just wish more women understood is like men are sexual creatures in a different way than we are. And they just think about sex. They look at butts. They look at tits. They think about fucking somebody after meeting them for 5 fucking seconds. Like they picture them in like different positions. They just fucking do. I have 5 brothers. I know how this shit works. Like I was in the military. Like I get it. Like women are not like that. But like we do be looking at people's butts. And like probably every man I come into contact with, I'm like, I wonder how big his dick is. And then I'm like, okay, back to regular. Like, I just do. Every man, I just do. Like, I don't think like that when I'm like around clients, but when I'm on my own time, like I do.
Curiosity.
Like, like I just fucking do. But women are so different. And men, I'm like, I talked to a girlfriend of mine the other day about this. Like, she was like, why did he she was dating like a total dirtbag. She was like, why is he looking at other women if he's with me? I'm like, because men are just fucking dogs. Like, they are dogs. And like, thinking she's hot doesn't make him love you any less. Doesn't make him think that you're ugly. Doesn't like, now if they're taking it like a step further, that's fucking different. That's like insecure validation. He's going to cheat on you. But like men you guys are just like fucking fiends with sex. You just are. It's just different. And I don't think, like, I understand one of my girlfriends is like poly, and I'm like, I get it. Like, just because you want to fuck that person and you have like a connection with them doesn't lessen this. Like, I don't know if I could be in a poly relationship, but like I get it theoretically. Yeah, I understand it. Doing it, I have no idea.
Yeah, I feel like that's a whole other step on top of that.
Yeah, it's like you
making
have
it real
to cross that bridge when you get to it.
Yeah, 100%. But
yeah, I don't know.
I think like I would agree with that. Like guys, we just approach it very differently. But I think it kind of again like that really just takes it all back to like how do we communicate that we are into you? How do we communicate that we like you? Again, it just all harkens back to kind of that idea of like, how do I know if she likes me that much? How do I know if she's connected to me like that? Like it doesn't, because we think about sexual connection that
without
much.
Physical touch ever happening, how do you, what makes you think a woman likes you? Without her saying, I like you.
That tends to help. That's the preferred
because
method.
Then that can make it awkward, but you're like, oh fuck, she likes me.
Yeah, and you're like, oh
now.
God, are you sure?
Too much pressure.
Yeah, you positive? And I don't even know really if I can like put it. Again, I don't want to say the cliche like when you know, because that's kind of a cop out. But
I mean, sometimes you just have chemistry with somebody and you're like, you can't explain it.
I think that is a lot of it. Without any sort of physical contact, I think, eye contact goes a long way. I think comments about, even without physical contact, I think comments about how somebody looks, how they smell, things that would be aphrodisiacs, things that would be something that would be foreplay, things that would be a turn on, any sort of mention of that, what
if they don't say anything?
I mean, I think it would be tough. I mean, obviously, like this case in point, like I think I struggled with that the other night for sure. I think it does make it tough. I think at that point you have to, and it goes back to what we talked about earlier, is deciding at that fork in the road of like, okay, I may not be necessarily getting what I normally try to pick up on to indicate interest and attraction, but I'm going to go ahead and take this for what it is, enjoy this conversation, take her interest in getting to know me as a person, as a mature adult male that we may have some common interests on, as if she didn't want to be here asking me those questions, she wouldn't be. So taking that as as kind of that first step. But I think that's unfortunately way easier said than done in the moment.
Yeah.
Because again, everybody loves that quick validation, especially guys, unfortunately. And so when we don't have that, we start to catastrophize a little bit.
Do you think that do you think that needing, like, okay, so having somebody physically touch you is validation to your ego. They like me. Having somebody say, I like your outfit, or I like how you smell, that is validating to your ego, which is not inherently wrong. Everybody has an ego, and feeding into it is not bad until it is. If your ego is not fed, do you think people are able to understand somebody has interest in them? Like, are we only trying to feed our insecurities for validation?
I don't think so. Again, I think it just adds a layer of security. Yeah. Right? Because again, like we've talked about, any sort of intimacy, any sort of intimate engagements, any sort of interactions are more enjoyable, more pleasurable if you feel safe, if you feel comfortable, if you feel secure. And a first date's no different, right? In an inherently awkward situation where, honestly, the first date, you're trying to, figure out, do they like me? Do I like them?
I asked myself that question first. Do I like them?
Yeah, which I think you should, because
I used to ask the other question. Do they like me? When I got cheated on in a relationship, and it made me I allowed myself to slip into a very anxious attachment style. Yeah. And then it became do they like me? Instead of do I like them? And first, do I like myself? That's the only thing I worry about now, is do I like me? Do I like them? Am I comfortable? Yeah. Do I want to be here? And then everything else is ladder.
Yeah. And then it kind of falls into place.
Yeah.
If that, and I think that's a really healthy way to be. And I think more people, guys and girls, could benefit from approaching it more from that perspective. But I don't even know if it's necessarily a feeding the ego thing. I think it really is just a little bit of helping confirm, especially if you are enjoying that date, if I'm enjoying spending time with you at dinner and stuff, being able to have any sort of security or indication that shows this, I think this is being reciprocated. Sometimes people can pick up on hints. Having, blatant info presented to you is always a little bit more easily digested.
It's just a sign that says, I like you.
Yeah, just a little So I think it's more, at least from my perspective, I think it's more that. It's not that I'm sitting there at the table at the date being oh, I want her to touch me because I think I feel fucking great. I think I look great, or I think my tattoos are sick. I want her to notice that. It's more by you doing that or engaging, or just a hand on a leg, or
confirmation.
Or something. It's a little bit of a confirmation, and it adds a little bit of that security. And it makes, I guess, in my opinion, the guy feel a little bit more comfortable, probably opens up a little bit more, maybe a little less nervous, because he's not necessarily having to then, at the same time, try to sell himself.
Sure.
But also try to figure out, like, one, do I like this person, but also like,
right.
Are they actually liking what I'm trying to sell? Which again may not necessarily be the best.
No, but like, yeah, you are trying to sell yourself.
But at the end of the day, like,
yeah, I mean, every interaction you have with anything in life is a transactional sell.
Yeah.
Of some kind, like. My job is primarily based out of like psychology, and so everything I think about is like psychological and body language. And once you like think like that, life, it's kind of like you have a cheat code to life, because then once you're just honest, like every interaction you have with a person, you're selling yourself and they're selling themselves.
100%.
And once you think about that, then life becomes easier. And then a big thing that helped me of like overcoming like a domestic violence and like getting cheated on and like all this bullshit is like figuring out that like people are fucking injured and hurt, and then when things happen, it's like usually it's not you, it's them. Like if somebody treats you nicely, it's because they treat themselves nicely.
Yeah.
And if somebody treats,
it's a reflection of their own.
For sure,
reality.
it's the same thing with the waiter. Like if somebody treats the waiter rudely, they're probably fucking rude to themselves, and they're probably gonna be fucking rude to you. Like for me, one of my like. If somebody does this, I'm like, red flag. I'm like, I don't want to be your friend. I don't want to date you. I'm sure it's fucking not gonna fuck you. Is you're like, let me take notes.
Yeah.
Self-deprecating comments. Like as soon as somebody says a self-deprecating comment, like a comment, like putting them down, if you don't like know what that means, but putting themselves down, I'm like, you think you're lame? I fucking think you're lame. Like if you think you're stupid,
fair.
I think you're stupid. Like if you put yourself down at all, you're shitting on yourself all the time. And like the biggest piece of advice I can give anybody is like, your brain doesn't know if you're lying or not. That's why we think dreams are real. That's why if you've ever been with somebody who like you cheated on them in their dream, they wake up fucking mad at you.
Because it feels like reality.
Feels like reality, and you tell yourself it's fucking real. So I don't even like to joke around with it. I read this book called The 4 Agreements. Have you read it?
I have not.
So fucking not. It's so good. It talks about words or spells, and you're casting spells all fucking day long.
Yeah, I like
that. Which like is so fucking true, because if you say like, oh, you're well, we're both about to move actually to the same place, which is so fucking funny. But if you say like, oh, I'm gonna go to this unit and people are gonna hate me, it'll fucking happen.
Yeah.
If you go, you're like, I'm gonna be the best fucking are you a lieutenant?
Captain.
Oh, excuse me. Jeez. If you're like, I'm gonna be the best captain, people are gonna fucking love me. I'm gonna have a great time. I'm gonna make all these friends. Like, you will fucking do it. You fucking will do. Like, I never joke around with saying I don't even want to do it now, because like I take it so serious of saying anything negative about myself. Like I've caught myself sometimes, and I'm like, no, just say silly. You're not like uneducated. Like, don't even say it.
Yeah.
Because like your brain will fucking latch onto it.
Yeah. Like speaking it into existence is 100%
oh my God.
a thing.
For fucking real.
And I think even as guys, like, if we're, looking at it from like a dating perspective, we talked about that women like men that make decisions, that take initiative, that are confident. Like, again, you mentioned like you wouldn't even necessarily be friends with somebody that was like that. You're sure as hell not going to fuck somebody that like that is like that. And so as a guy, if you are lacking that confidence, if you are self-deprecating, if you are approaching your reality like that, like I'm assuming, again, like correct me if I'm wrong, but that would be like an incredible turnoff.
Oh,
I'm
for
sure. Like never been drier.
100%.
Ever.
Oh, yeah. Like, you're like, whoa, I'm never, ever taking off any. I'm gonna put on more clothes around you. Like, no.
So I think like, and to be honest, like I think guys kind of understand that women like a confident person a lot of times, but I would argue or contest that most guys probably don't think about it from that perspective, because I'm sure, especially if you date anybody that's gone to like big into the gym, right?
Yeah.
People have horrible body image.
Oh my God,
issues.
the saddest people are in the like. I heard somewhere like men hide their emotions in their muscles.
Yeah.
When I see but that's why women don't like fucking six packs, is because when I see a buff dude, I'm like, you're fucked up. I already know.
Well, yeah, and like he probably hates the way that he looks, unfortunately.
Forever small.
Yeah. And so again, like it's just that self-deprecation. There's going to lead to some confidence issues, or it's going to push to the other end of the spectrum where you start running into like a little bit of like a Napoleon complex or like egotistical narcissism, to where they're trying to make up for the fact that they fucking hate themselves, they hate the way that they look, whatever. So yeah, that's really interesting perspective that I think guys understand just the overarching thing about confidence, but probably aren't necessarily thinking about what they're saying about themselves at times to the people that they're interested in is potentially like, degrading their image in their partners.
Yeah, it's like
mind.
You're making yourself unmanly all on your own. Like, I'm not doing anything.
Yeah.
And like, people will pick up, even if they're not aware that they're not attracted to that, their brains will go, ew, gross. But only a healthy, confident brain. Because some people who, like men and women who are broken themselves, when somebody else is like broken and damaged and saying like mean things about themselves, everything's internal, right? And so they are like, oh, you're wounded, so let me take care of you how I wished somebody would have taken care of me.
They're just trying to be a fixer.
And then they feel it's like helping them is almost trying to heal a part of them. And so they're with them because they feel bad for them, because they feel bad for themselves. And so the only person that will be with you, friends with you, partners, anything, if you are mean to yourself, is people who are also mean to themselves.
Yeah, that's
you'll
just a
never,
recipe for disaster. Like, just a never-ending,
you'll never get out of it.
Creating hurt people circle.
And then if you do get out of it, they don't want to stay with you because they don't want like the Band-Aid stuck to them forever. Like once you're healed, you're like, let me get fucking rid of that Band-Aid. I don't want it.
Exactly.
And then you're done.
Yeah, that's a fair point. So yeah, really interesting perspective there. Like,
you know what's my golden rule for if a guy wants to see me again at the end of a date?
What you got?
Is if he books a meeting from a meeting.
Okay.
Like that to me is like has not ever proven wrong. Ever. And like to me, say it was like the best date ever, but he doesn't book a meeting from a meeting. I'm like, it's not that it was bad, it's just that just enjoy that moment for what it was.
Yeah.
But you're not going to see him again.
Fair.
And that for whatever reason. So.
Let the record show, unfortunately, I did not do that. But we're here, so.
Somehow you're here.
We're trying our best. If someone ever asks you what you're doing, your best. Okay. So. That's
I'm
what we're
trying my best. And that's how I run my business, is I always book their next lesson at the lesson. And so my clients are never confused. And that's successful dating, is like, if you're confused, it's a no.
Yeah, 100%. Like, the old adage, like, if they like you, you'll know. If they don't, you'll be confused.
Well, like, you didn't know.
Yeah. Okay, fair. So it doesn't always apply, per se.
But yes, they will make it known. And because, I'm going to leave it on the guy, because guys need to court women. Guys are not courting women anymore, and it's so sad. If a guy wants to date you, he will make a plan with you, because otherwise some other Joe is going to swoop in. If he's okay with that, he's okay with it because he's not that into you.
Yeah.
And more women need to go, he just didn't like me. That's the best thing you can say to yourself, is he doesn't like me.
Yeah.
That's it.
100%. I think everybody could benefit from that, to be honest. Like, because I've dealt with some issues like that. I have friends that have, where it's, you're investing time and energy into somebody that is leaving you confused. Like, at some point,
why are
you
you
have
putting
to
up with
be
that?
mature enough and emotionally intelligent enough.
You got to hurt your own feelings.
Yeah.
It's easier to hurt your own feelings than somebody else.
Because, guarantee, it's going to suck for a few days, maybe a week, whatever, and then you're going to look back and be like, God, I'm so glad. Like, what the fuck was I doing? Like, hindsight is always 20/20 in situations
dating
like
is
that.
so hard. It shouldn't be hard, but it's
really
so hard. Dating becomes a lot easier, like, on your soul, when you just go, like, he didn't like me. It's fine. I liked him. He didn't like me.
It just wasn't it. Like, cool. We move on with our lives. Yeah.
So much, like, break your own heart. So much easier on your psyche.
Yeah.
So much easier. This was good. This was like,
I enjoyed it.
2 or 3 hours.
It was good. Yeah. I appreciate you having me. I'm glad that our interesting interaction of a first date turned into a good episode for you. So.
I'm really excited to edit this and like put it all over my social media. I need to have more men on the show.
You should. I think even if sometimes they're, and by no means probably are some of my perspectives correct, but I think having other perspectives, whether or not they're correct, healthy, etc.
Well, I want to have some bros on the show. So just like some straight up knuckle draggers to talk. That's who women want to talk to, is the fucking knuckle dragger that's hurting them.
It's true.
Like, I want to bring on the show like a fucking serial cheater. Like, talk to me, narcissist. Come on, let's hear it. Yeah, because like
Tell me your stories.
You're like super great and realistic to talk to, but like also well, I'm not saying but like, and I want to talk to the opposite end of the spectrum. Like, bring
some toxicity in
yes,
there.
bring me a toxic. I need to make a flyer and put in the gym. Like, are you a walking red flag?
Yeah. Text
Come on my show.
Text this number.
For real.
Yeah. No, this has been great. I'm glad. I'd be curious, like, if you guys could have been a fly on the wall of the text message thread of, well, the date and then the text message thread that we had going on. It was
good.
Very honest. Very enlightening. And
were you like, all the honesty I was saying, were you like, oh my God, she hates me? Like, what were you like?
No,
feeling?
I liked the honesty. I enjoy the candor. I think I was going to bring this up earlier. I just didn't think of a good segue into it. But something that I've definitely appreciated as I've gotten older is the honesty. Women that are like very outspoken about what they want, what they don't want, what they enjoy, what they don't enjoy. Like, we go back to kind of how guys get weird sometimes about talking about sex. Like, I wouldn't necessarily say I was like that when I was younger, but as I've gotten older, I would say it's almost just the opposite. Like, I really appreciate and respect a woman that is like secure in her sexuality and that communicates about it and isn't afraid to be open about it, to talk about it, because again, like, we're all just adults at the end of the day. Like, we have desires and needs and stuff. Like, having somebody that is open and is, you know, and not saying you talk about this on a first date, but somebody that you're seeing that is like, hey, like, they voice interest, they, they're open about their sexuality and what they want to do and what they don't want to do and stuff. So, and it wasn't necessarily as much the case when I was younger, or I just wasn't like as interested in it or attracted to it. Whereas
when
now,
somebody's like, what do you like? You're like, I don't know. Why are you asking me? That's so weird.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know how to say. When you're young, I'm just like so glad to be out of my 20s because you're just like ignorant.
Yeah. And like, I would rather, because we've talked about like guys like getting the validation and we inherently like doing things that make you guys happy. So at the end of the day, like, yes, please tell me what you want, tell me what you like, tell me what you don't like, be honest. Like, you had a long day from work and you get home and you want to get fucked, like, tell me that, like, communicate that with me, right? Like, that is very, very, very attractive. Which probably at the end of the day just comes down to communication is attractive, probably.
No, at the end of the day, if a woman has had a long day, she doesn't want to get fucked. She wants to be, it's not that she doesn't. Yeah. She wants the foreplay leading up to the sex more than anything. The sex is for you guys. The foreplay is for us.
Okay, I can see that. That's fair. I like that idea.
For real.
Yeah.
Foreplay is for the woman, because you guys don't fucking need sex. Like, I mean, foreplay. You don't need foreplay.
I mean, no.
You need, like, you could be like, take off your pants, let's go. And men are like, well, okay.
Yeah, you're just hard and ready to go.
Women are like, bro, I'm dry. You haven't even kissed me all day.
Yeah.
Fuck off. Like, women need the foreplay.
Yeah.
Men need the sex.
No, 100%. And I think, again, that kind of communication and just the communication in general, I think is super important and definitely.
Have you been to therapy?
I have.
Why?
Yep.
Because like you're so like well-spoken about this stuff.
I have been to therapy once.
Like, why are you like this? I mean that in a good way. Like, why are you so well-spoken? Why are you so comfortable talking about this stuff and open?
Well, to be honest, I've definitely been super shitty to some people in my life. Like, if we're being candid, I've definitely done some shitty things to some people when I was younger.
Specifically?
Yeah. In relationships, and have acted poorly and definitely have done some like narcissistic, egotistical things.
What's the most narcissistic thing you've done?
Especially when I was younger, I used to tend to like argue, but from like a condescending, like gaslighting perspective instead of a
like, no, I didn't. What are you talking about?
Yeah, or I'd be like, oh, that's not what you said. Actually, you said exactly that. You know.
And they're like, maybe I did. Fuck.
And it wasn't healthy at all. And
tit for tat type of like arguing shit.
Yeah, and rather than it was then an argument rather than a discussion.
Yeah.
However, I would sit there and say, well, we're not arguing, we're just having a discussion.
Makes
which
you feel
is
better
incredibly
about it.
gaslight. Like,
yeah.
So, like, case in point. And that was definitely kind of a little bit more of how I handled situations when I was a little bit younger. And again, shout out to my past relationship.
We
of
love
a few
this
years.
ex. Or we love this past relationship. I don't know if we love this ex.
There were definitely things I 100% could have done better, situations I could have handled better, but I learned.
How long ago was that?
We broke up about a year ago. It'll be a year in January.
It's like a good healing time.
Correct. And
that was mine. I hit a year on December 3rd.
Okay. Mine'll be like mid-January probably. But, you know, for good, better, or worse, or neutral, right? Like their situations and conversations that we had, both good and bad, definitely gave me a lot to think about. And to be honest, we broke up while I was on a deployment, so.
Oh yeah, because that's easier. We talked about that.
Yeah, and it was kind of a forcing function at that point to like kind of just sit there,
Did the
talk to buddies.
deployment play in your breakup?
It didn't, no.
Oh, okay.
It definitely didn't make it easy, you know, it
But that's not why you guys broke up at all.
But no, it was other things. But therapy before, when I was a little bit younger, probably like 25, 26, after a couple-year relationship ended, there were just some things about myself that I wanted to kind of explore, of like, why did I do that? Why did I say those things?
That's like very self-reflective though, because some people will be like, all of our parents, the boomer generation, none of them go like, why did I do that? They're like, you're wrong.
Yeah.
I'm the victim.
There's very
all
little
of them.
self-reflection.
They all need to fucking go to group therapy together.
Yeah. So I did some of that, and I think it was pretty helpful. I started reading a little bit more. I just started reading some
like,
books and stuff.
Mature of you.
But I think both of those things definitely helped. And really, I think at this point now in my life, like I know what I'm looking for, and I'm a lot more intentional with.
What are you looking for?
I mean, I would like to have a partnership. I don't necessarily know exactly what that would look like right now, but I'm not necessarily looking for something like casual friends with benefits kind of thing. And so I think in that vein, I've just really tried to make an effort to be a lot more intentional with my communication, because that's what I would want from somebody. Even if that person I'm communicating with, we decide like we do just want something casual, we do just want to kind of do a friends with, you have those conversations, it's having those conversations. It's having that communication. Because that's what I would want from somebody, whether or not we're literally just sleeping together and texting for fun every now and then, or that's the person that I'm exclusively dating.
And I think when you're in those friends with Benny's type of situationship, it's important to say, and I want to see other people. Because one person in there is going to go, I know they're probably, but I hope that they're not. Yeah. Like they need, like the with you that's implied. Yeah. That needs to be said.
Yeah. Like if this is a casual, non-exclusive thing, like I would argue, like potentially communication in those situations is more important than some communication in exclusive relationships.
Yes, for sure.
Because there's established situation in something that's exclusive. Like you have mutual vested interest in what you're doing.
But you also have to say like, what is your definition of exclusivity versus mine? Yeah. Because I had that. Literally, we did check-in questions, and I said, what is your definition of exclusive? Mm-hmm. What do you think a relationship is? And we talked about it, and then he was like fucking talking to somebody the whole time, and I was like, it's funny how you don't follow your definition.
Yeah, that doesn't seem super exclusive.
Yeah, right. It was open on his end. It was one-sided open.
So I think communication really is key. I think that's really the only way to actually figure out if they like you, right? Like at the end of the day, it's just communication. That's the easiest way. Like, because like that's really the ultimate question, right? Like, do they actually like me?
Yeah.
And it's
sometimes people don't want to ask it because they don't want to get hurt. Like they know deep inside. Like I train dogs and I train a lot of couples, and I know some of those people know that their spouse hates them. I know that they know, and they just know that they have fucking kids with them, and they're like, I can't.
They're just pretending or trying to be blissfully ignorant, or
like be single.
Yeah. Go to fucking therapy or something. Like take steps to try to alleviate the situation. Whatever the successful way that is.
Fucking hate each other. It's the weirdest thing.
Crazy. But
I'm hungry. Do you want to go get food?
I'm down to get some food.
Good thing you didn't ride your bike. It's fucking cold.
Yeah.
It's really cold.
Rainy.
No, it's not raining. But that's a long drive back to Petersburg on the highway.
Yeah.
On the highway. Well, on a bike. It's a long ride at least. Oh my God.
In the cold.
Especially on my bike, because you're just like up and all the wind is attacking you.
Yeah, at least I can like tuck into mine a little bit and
I rode my friend's Gixxer the other day. In my foot, I was like, where's the fucking thing? But you're like in the bike, and the wind was like, I was going like way faster than I ever go on my bike because you just don't feel it.
No, you just kind of tuck in there and you just look through the little windscreen, and it's not too bad. But no, I appreciate you having me on.
This was good.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I enjoyed it, and I'm glad we did it.
Me too.
Hopefully I can sneak back onto your podcast at some point.
Yes.
Down the road. We can get a couple other people on here. We can get some good.
Oh my God. Do you have any
discussion.
bros that you could invite on with us?
I like to think most of my guy friends aren't super douchers.
Have any friends like that? I'm sure you have some dumb Joes in your unit.
I probably do.
That would be horrible. Hey, you work under me. Come
like,
on this
you're
podcast.
actually an idiot. I could use
actually
your
a window
lack of
licker.
expertise, actually. So please come through. No, but we'll have to figure something out. I'd love to come back on and go from there.